And we're live. I didn't switch the training sessions. That's fine. Hi guys. This is Arcers of the Realm. This is Light Arc. Corinne waves a lot. You're muted. Can't hear you.
You can't hear me, but I do every time. I wave every time to say hello and goodbye.
I know, before we started I saw you waving, and then I looked up after that, and you were still waving, and I was like... It's fine. One of us is nice. One of us should be nice. This is the Light Arc for Records of the Realms. We are missing a few people this evening. We are missing Nova and Rach. They are doing things. So we are going to continue the story on without them. That means things are going to be happening that's a little out of order probably next time. For now, though, it's going to be a pretty simple transition into what's going on. So before we get the super duper started, let's introduce everybody. First, hi, I'm Vander, Vinny. I am the person in charge of Vander.Vision. I do cosplay, photography, videography, and I was just at Anime Boston this weekend, if any of you were there. Hi, hello, thanks for coming along. Next, I will head over to Mel.
Pardon me while I unmute. Hello, can you hear me? My name's Mel. I play Kanitae Baequiundilin, our party's half-elf bard, and you can find me on most socials as Mellowette. I'm sorry, my dog is chewing his toy in the background. I'm gonna pass it over to Anders, because that's who I see next to me on my screen.
Perfect. I'm Anders. You can find me on Instagram, Anders the Pirate, or on Facebook, same thing. I'm also in the Storyteller Squad podcast. You can find us on most audio podcast streaming services. And I'll be playing Cinn Alamoad. And we'll pass it on down.
Hello. I'm Corinne. Socials are somewhere on the screen, so if you want to find me other places, I'm there. Today I'm playing Ethel Moonshade, who is a cleric of Selune, and I'm very excited. I don't know if I'm supposed to be saying other things, Vinny. Every time this happens, I have a plan, and then my brain goes completely blank.
I don't know why you're telling me. It's not my fault. You can choose how many words you wish to say.
Cool.
Brain's like, I had a thing. I don't recall the thing.
Welcome to the stream, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you for the re-introduction. Cool. Some of us are working off of memory, and everyone's working off of lack of hydration or lack of sleep, lack of lots of things. We're all doing our best. Who can recap what happened in session 13? Whomst remembers?
Not it.
Yeah. Maybe the person who wasn't here shouldn't try, yeah.
Maybe not me.
I can give bullet points of what happened.
I will take bullet points.
Assuming my memory holds. Alright, so first we were invited, I think very first, we were invited to the collective, not the chancery, to the collective, to meet the owner, runner guy of the collective. We met him, we had a conversation, he explained to us that because we had a new person on board, he'd have to decrease our salary, which we were not all very happy about. Some toes were stepped on. Specifically, Ethel stepped on Temerity's toes a little bit, but then they worked it out after the fact and were able to have a conversation. Temerity was able... Oh boy, you may be able to hear background music. Please ignore it.
Nope.
Cool.
You never need to point. I'm gonna just, here's just a notice for everybody. I will point out any background noises that I ever hear. None of you ever need to tell me about background noises. You'll know if I hear it.
Okay. All right. I can't. I've had ghost pianos before. I don't know if
we told you when it came up because it was very cool. That one specific situation.
That's
Anyhow,
oddly appropriate for the mood.
so Temerity went and had a conversation with Trine, and in that conversation, he both, had a conversation with Trine about the salary change, and also a conversation with Trine about why she's been around the Jeweled Chalice and been hanging out around there. It was a very fun conversation. No one in the party knows about it except for Temerity and Trine. So, you know.
I guess who are the two people not in the group right now? Neither of these fuckers. Okay.
Then I'm sure something else happened that I'm not remembering, but we went and we said, well, we're gonna go check out, because a couple of times that we've had big events in the city, the murderer showed up and things have happened. So we are gonna go scout out the area ahead of time, see what we can find, and check it out. So we went to the ballroom and we got a grand tour of the place. Looked all around, found out this neat security features involved, and also different ways to get people out if there are situations where we need to get people out fast. All very exciting all around. We also found out that Una has some friends from her past that are getting married, and she may not be thrilled about that. But that will be talked about more another time. And I think that's where we're at.
Yep.
It's not a lot of detail, but bullet points.
Yeah, no. The basic sum up was, yep, you guys went. You went to the collective, had a conversation there. Temerity talked to Trine. The rest of you, when that was going on, went to check out the brazen ballroom. And yeah, you bullet pointed it very well. During all this time, Kanitae wasn't around. Kanitae,
Nope.
what were you doing? What was keeping you busy?
Kanitae was hardcore researching about druidic magic because over the month of downtime that we had, she had been casting comprehend languages so much that she was basically teaching herself druidic. So she decided it'd be a really good idea to try to learn some druidic magics, including how to wild shape oneself, and accidentally wild shaped herself into a mouse and didn't know how to undo it. So she's been running around the city trying to catch up with somebody who can help her. I'm going to say this has been taking place for roughly an hour since she accidentally transformed, which also explains why she wasn't at the meeting with What's-His-Face, who I genuinely don't remember his name because I have to check the notes again, and I currently don't have internet.
No. Yeah, no. Very wonderful situation where you were so distracted, lost for time, practicing this new magic, trying to figure it out. You were literally in the collective, probably, like down in one of the library areas, like reading books. She was
in one of the collective archives,
testing this stuff
fucking around and finding out, as one does.
Yep. And then you found out. And then you turned into a mouse, which was probably a surprise. You do keep your intelligence and wisdom and charisma and all that stuff, and good catch, Corinne. I'm going to buy you a whole setup.
Please don't. I'm working on it. It's just like only one piece comes in at a time.
But yeah, you are able to eventually find your way outside, which, you know, if you thought like being a person in the city was weird, imagine being this big as a mouse.
She definitely at some point was probably running away from like a stray cat too that was like real fucking hungry. Like that probably happened.
Yeah. I just love the idea of just discovering wild shape for the first time and it being
not a good time.
Yeah, it's just so much fun. Your first time wild shaping is not out in nature enjoying things. It's just in a city and in a fucking library, and you're just like
trying not to get stepped on.
I'm magic now. Whoops.
I've been magic.
Now you're nature
turned
magic.
Into animals before.
Yes. So,
oh shit.
I'm actually, since I think it's probably appropriate to take us over to the Wishfall map, which gets rid of our nameplates, but that's fine. It lets us show off the area. So yeah, right now we have you at the Heavens View Collective, which is number 20 on the map, so pretty close to center, a little southeast, and everybody else is all the way at number 16, the Brazen Ballroom, which is like, you don't even know that they're there. So at some point during all this mayhem that's going on, uh, Kanitae, you're just transformed. You don't know what's going on. Asunar leaves the Brazen Ballroom before everybody else after hearing a name from Kusana. Kusana's just like reading the next names on the list, and who's coming in like a half hour, and Asunar just leaves.
She was like, "I gotta go."
Yeah, leaves without talking to anybody. You guys just aren't gonna be able to find her. We're just gonna crash cut that. No one's able to find her, so now it's just Cinn, Ethel, and Temerity in the Brazen Ballroom. I would like Ethel and Cinn to roll me dexterity saving throws.
Alrighty.
Where's trying?
She stayed in her room. She was
right.
Oh, that's right, because Temerity embarrassed the shit out of her.
A little bit. She's recovering.
Gee, it would have been smart to try to go to Trine's room first.
Dexterity saving.
We had a 15, and what was it for Ethel?
3.
Cool. Cinn, you in this weird moment just get like that second nature to like grab out as Temerity just collapses and is about to fall down one of the 2 staircases. You're able to grab Temerity's arm. Temerity unconscious, just out. You don't know what happened, but just like hanging over the staircase, being held by you.
Whoa, I got you there, buddy. Ethel, have you seen this happen before?
Yeah, I was gonna ask the same thing. I would like to help him pull Temerity back.
I'm sure that's easy enough. The important part was catching it, because if not, I was gonna make Rach have to subtract some hit points next time she came back.
Ooh, no.
Yikes.
Have I ever seen this before?
This specifically, not really. I'm sure you've seen like people passing out. It's like a thing that happens to humanoids. But
yes.
If you want to roll me a medicine check and a luck check, we can check.
Cool, check. I can totally do that.
Check 1, 2.
Yeah. I'll have to check.
That is medicine. Oh. That is a 17 for medicine. And an 8 for luck.
Okay. You definitely have not seen this particular type of like unconscious state before. Best way to describe Temerity currently is unconscious, but it doesn't seem to be detrimental to his health. Whatever's going on, like all full system check running fine. Pulse good, heartbeat good. Pulse and heartbeat are the same. Why am I saying both? But yeah, Temerity seems to be fine. Like if you open the eyes, like the eyes still seem to be moving around, active, like in REM sleep or something. Like already in REM. Like it looks like Temerity somehow just fell asleep, like instantaneously.
Alrighty. No, that's not. We should probably bring him somewhere he can rest. I've definitely not seen it.
I mean,
but it's not dangerous, it seems.
I mean, I can take him back to his apartment. That shouldn't be too hard. I don't know if we should, swing by a hospital or by a temple first. Just get an extra set of eyes. I mean, you're the expert. If you say our guy here just needs to rest, that's fine. I'm happy to assist. But if you want an extra set of eyes, I'm happy to help get him there.
I mean, if we want to stop somewhere, We certainly can. But as far as I can tell, he's fine. Just asleep. Like a sleep spell. Essentially, is what it seems like.
Around this time, roll me
Well,
roll me a d20, Connie.
That's a 16 flat.
15 plus 8, 24. Okay, you somehow end up over at the Astra Institute, just like up on like one of like the benches or something, and like there's like a student there who's like reading a notebook and sees you and just like, go away, shoo, shoo. You turn back. And this student just falls.
She just like
off
kind of
the
half
chair.
collapses onto the bench and just goes,
Warn people.
thank you. I just gets up and starts running.
What? Goodbye, strange druid.
Cast ending to Ethel and just goes, Hey Ethel, I've had a wild day. Where are you?
Did you say a all wild day?
I
recounting.
corrected myself because I didn't count
Okay.
out. I was recounting. Yeah.
Ethel, as you were talking to Sin, as Sin is literally is trying to be like, hey, so yeah, I can do and help you out with all this. You hear the Connie immediately at your head at the exact same time, also trying to talk to you. So you have these two full overlapping conversations going on at the same time.
Alright. Sin, hold that thought. That was not to Connie. Can I not choose it, Vinny?
Vinny's choosing violence today.
You've got 20
dork.
left.
You're a dork.
This is true.
We are at the Brazen Ballroom.
Do I know where that is?
Let Ethel finish.
Go ahead.
How does a compass work? Hold on.
North.
Due east, if that's what you're wondering. It's due east.
Thank you.
I also suck at this. I've had to relearn my brain so much with this because I'm really bad with mental.
I have to. North is that way, so I have to like physically be like, okay, north, south. Okay, anyway. Yeah, so due east of the city. Meet us there.
I'm sorry, did you say due east of the city?
Like in the city.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the famous ballroom in the city. You probably know where it is. But yeah, so we can say, yeah, that happens. And you just watch as Ethel just leaves your conversation mentally for a second to go answer this call, and then comes right back.
I think it would be fine to just take Temerity to his quarters. However, Connie is on her way. So we may want to wait for her to show up before we leave at all.
Okay, I mean, you're the medical expert. I err on the side of caution. I want to make sure that we get this guy to facilities, but if you're saying he's just sleeping and we got Kanitae on the way, then yeah, we can hang out.
I mean, I agree. This is incredibly concerning. As far as I can tell, there's nothing wrong. Connie may also be able to check him out.
So, Connie...
Don't tell Temerity
well,
I said
he's
that
a
out
bit
loud.
heavy, so I'm going to lay him comfortably down on the ground, get him a little bunch of cloth as a little pillow.
Yeah, Kazana comes over and says, "Don't worry, we have we can put him on a couch. Come on."
Thank you, Kusana.
Also,
Kusana?
Kusana, yeah, the owner of Brazen Ballroom.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, it's just a new character I've randomly introduced. No.
I thought that was like someone that Temerity was not happy to see. I got confused.
No, that's... Oh, Temerity? No, I don't think so. But yeah.
I think
I mean-
Temerity was fine.
Asunar.
Yeah, those are
That's right.
different people. No.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, with the number that you chose, number 24, Connie, you actually picked the building closest to the broken archway, so you have to hoof it
Oh.
to get all the way to the Brazen Ballroom.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
So,
Is it far?
but a half hour later, Kanitae shows up, a little sweaty.
Just looking, yeah, a little sweaty, a little uncomfy. Assuming Ethel is waiting outside, or she gets inside, and they're just sitting with Temerity, and he's laying on the couch. She just goes, "Hey, sorry, I was a little caught up. Sorry.
Ethel's just quietly fanning Temerity.
What's up with Temerity?
He fell asleep,
Uh-huh.
but literally
And
fell into sleep.
Okay. And I'm sorry. Who are you? She points at Cinn like, wait, I don't recognize you.
Oh, is this the introduction?
Did we hand raise that? That's okay.
I thought you guys met once or twice already, but yeah, we can handle.
I had no idea.
I have no idea either.
We may have done
nobody's
it
talked to me about
last
this.
session, so like
That's fair. That's
you
fine.
wouldn't have been. It's fine.
This is
I wasn't
great.
there.
This is an excellent first meeting, especially because there's no like temerity to like do the intros.
She just looks crazy right now. Like,
Yes. This is Cinn. Trine hired him to join our group, and he is lovely.
all right, cool. Nice to meet
I
you.
work with Temerity back at the Chalice.
Oh, I never seen you before. Okay, anyway, nice to meet you. I'm Kanitae,
Well,
but
I work back in the kitchens. I know you probably spend time out with the other patrons, out in the social areas. I work behind the scenes, so that's why you probably haven't seen me.
Okay, all right. Behind the scenes guy, all right.
Sen, you do recall that you've probably heard the name Connie before, and have probably gotten like a couple too many seafood platter orders, specifically in Kanitae's name, before. This person, you know what? Any sentence is going to sound wrong coming from that in this type of cabaret setting. Yes, Kanitae orders a lot of seafood. We're going to leave it there. I was going to make it worse, so we're just going to leave it.
Yeah, thank you for that.
So yeah, you're like you're a number 16 on the menu, catfish surprise with blah blah blah. Like you're able to like put together a. I don't know. I don't order seafood a lot.
You're from Boston.
Yeah, I have clam chowder. It's all the seafood you need.
Anyway.
It's got the 5 major food groups: cream, potatoes, seafood. No, it's a beer. Anyways. Hi, anyone who's from Boston listening to this, don't be offended. You can't be offended. I'm from that area.
Be offended.
You can be offended, but don't. But why?
But why? It was so spot on. Anyways.
But yeah, she's just like, oh, all right, cool, nice to meet you. And then she turns her attention back to Ethel. So he literally just fell asleep?
Yeah. Yes. Like magic. Just unfortunate phrasing and unfortunate in general. But he doesn't hurt. Just fainted. And not even truly fainted, just asleep.
Right. I have half a mind to have her make like a history check and be like, does this sound familiar? Like,
Go ahead.
13.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, narcolepsy. It reminds you of people who have narcolepsy. That's about it.
Yeah. Yeah. She'll just ask, and she'll be like, "As his coworker, have you ever heard anything about him having like dizzy spells or just like suddenly falling asleep like that?" Or
Nah, not around me, or not that I've heard of. This is new.
Right. Okay. Well, Ethel, you say he's not hurt, right? So maybe we just pop him back home and go about our business. Why are you guys even over here anyway?
Let's discuss that on the walk.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. We can pinwheel spin it.
Yeah, I got him.
Yes. We can pinwheel spin it. Everyone catches up Connie on like the train of thought. Like,
Yeah. So, as you guys are walking back to the Jewel Chalice to drop Temerity off in his bed in his room, plop. You guys get the normal nod from Bara. Some of the other coworkers who know you there give a wave. Bree gives you a smile and a wave, Connie. But you are not bothered or hounded for conversations by anybody. So you are able to get in, drop Temerity's lifeless body off, just on a bed. No questions asked.
We have an unconscious Temerity between the three of us, and then everybody's just like, "Man, this is fine."
Yeah,
this feels correct.
it's fine. It's
He's
fine.
partying too hard, I guess. Like,
Yeah, if anything, I feel like Connie would probably flag Bree down and be like, just keep an eye on him, maybe. He just like suddenly passed out. Like Ethel says he's fine, but keep an eye on him just in case.
Oh, what the? Okay. Do you have narcolepsy?
I have no idea.
Okay. She leans in to give you a peck on the cheek before going to bring Temerity into the room.
There's like ever the slightest flinch. Ever the slightest.
Cool. I'm gonna roll
Very
D20.
slight.
roll D20. See if it's noticed. Nope. I'll allow Cinn and Ethel to roll insight checks to see if they notice.
oh, heck yeah.
My passive insight is 17. So
Bruh.
I'm just gonna roll with that.
Okay. I'll allow it.
What's my deception?
Yeah, what's your passive deception?
17.
Okay, roll for it, Cinn, just in case.
Gosh darn it. I rolled a 17. My passive perception is an 18, but I rolled a 17.
Oh, then you see it, because a 17
Okay,
would
cool.
beat
Yeah.
a 17 active beats a 17 passive, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Nah, 9. Didn't notice anything.
Oh.
Poor Cinn.
So, Ethel, you notice this little gut, just small twist away or whatever, flinch, whatever word you want to use for Connie.
Cool.
Yeah, you drop off Temerity. You three are free now to do what you want. If you want to go to the next location, or if you guys want to, we can get a hand wave and say you guys discussed all the details of the Brazen Ballroom and any other. Are you guys explaining your visit to Albert to Connie as well?
Yes, Ethel will.
Yeah.
And then I think
She wouldn't be too bothered by it. She'd probably just be like, I mean, we were getting a pretty good sum anyway, so like, fuck it, it's fine.
Yeah, so Cinn maybe has your extra 250 in a satchel that you get handed because you all got paid for going in and visiting the boss. So such a hard life that you guys were complaining about. So Temerity specifically.
I fully admire Temerity for getting us what he got us.
Yeah.
There's just a part of Ethel that's like, but we gotta be aware that there's a ceiling.
Alright, so yeah, you three are together outside the Jewel Chalice, which is number 19 on the map. So you guys are basically near center, but a little southwest. You guys know that the area uh, that's going to have the fair is up in the northern east section called the Gardens of Grace. That's the area that's going to be used for the fair because it's a nice area, and they don't really want to use the commons again since the last time they used the commons there was a so yeah,
There have been so many deaths in the last few months. It's really concerning.
I mean, to be fair, compared to like New York or Boston, this is pretty low.
I mean, like, fair, but there's just been a lot of people around for all of them, and you kind of just go,
No, 100%.
For-
Like it's
for
a
a city who's not used to this.
100%. It's a murder mystery, and like y'all should be concerned and interested. But like me, Vinny, who's like I live in Boston. There's been more shootings this year than there have been days. So like
Mm-hmm.
the world is jading me. Sorry. I'm there with you for the long sip.
It's, what is it called? The
Yeah,
Gardens
so Connie,
of
we were
what?
going to check out the.
Gardens of Grace.
Gardens of Grace.
Yep. That's the general area for that. But if you guys are anything else, again, I know we had some off camera chat where some of you were thinking about stuff down in the Undercity, and I think there was a few other ideas being tossed around, but there was a lot of stuff, and I've had a crazy weekend, so I don't remember all of it. If anyone has an idea they want to bring up, raise your hand.
Yeah, I mean, if people want to go to Undercity, we can definitely go there, for sure. Maybe hit up Gardens of Grace first.
Yeah, I figured since we just checked out the ballroom, it'd be nice to check out the gardens. Give just a little walk over. We still got time before we got any of the crowds around, but the lay of the land wouldn't hurt. Meet the people in charge.
Sorry, when is the fair taking place?
End of this 10-day.
Yeah, so in like 4 days from now.
Yeah.
Something like that.
4 or 5. Well, so 4 days until sorry, yeah, it should be more exact. 4 days until the fair, 5 days until the ball.
Gotcha. I'm perfectly content with visiting the gardens first, getting the lay of the land, and then heading down to check out any of the things that we wanted to investigate down there.
Yeah, let's go.
Wonderful.
Cool.
So how much setup are they doing for the fair at the gardens?
Quite a bit. It's a few days away, but the gardens is mainly it's kind of like the commons in the sense that it's just like a public garden area for anyone to really just like relax or hang out in. The thing about the gardens is where the commons is kind of more maintained by the city itself, so it's like, you know, even cut grass, like there's like specific hedges grown here or here for like to move people around or for to beautify. The Gardens of Grace is kind of more like an open area for like people to interpret nature and art in their own way. So there are some druidic elements, as in like people who are creating trees that twist in a specific way for people to like sit, like a tree that's all of its roots are raised up into a point so everyone can sit around and have conversations together. The plant life itself is more harmoniously made around here, as opposed to like rigid cuts to an exact type of thing. People relax here. Some of the uh, less well off population that don't go into the underground also hang out, sleep here. So like every once in a while, like you might see more often like a tent set up, or even people just out in the open. But also like every once in a while, there's like a tiny hut. Like so, apparently, like some of the people at least have some magics that help them out. But it's mainly like an area for people to rest, relax with all types of nature. But like you'll see a lot of artisanal pieces of plant life that people kind of play with their own magical capabilities. Nothing burnt or broken. It's trying to make it beautified.
Neat.
Um, when you get there, you do see that they are setting up a lot of the plant life. Doesn't really get moved so much as they work around a lot of it. It's similar in the set that they're setting up a stage again, probably for like announcements and stuff. But there's a lot of just like table areas, and like some areas are just like made for presentation. So like they're like put like a whole section of like boards or wood to like let people like show off a like performance or something, versus another area where there's like clearly tables with like displayed cases for like inventions or for food and food craft. uh, some of the people that you see around is just some of these people. So let's go down and check. Do 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 do. Nice having this. Haha, the person who's not here. That's nice. Um, I believe one of you guys did interact with one of these individuals before. Is you see a silvery tiefling, who I don't remember who met, but is named Tungsten, who helps set up um a lot of the performance and like the performance is going on. In addition to that, there is Zilly, who is a half of a Devati pairing. You might know this person, Ethel. They are a star goblin, and they work at the hospital. So like they seem to be just doing this in their spare time to help out. But uh, you've probably seen them around the hospital once or twice before. Um, they have another half who uh, also has a Z name, which is written in the thing. Don't worry about there. Um, there are other people who just seem to be sitting down and relaxing. You do see Zayton, and I'll spell these names at some point if someone needs them. Who is the other Star Goblin, who is actually sitting on a bench with a old acquaintance of you guys, Pandora, who is kind of just like sitting there. Zayton just seems to be like talking with Pandora, slow back and forth between them, and every once in a while, Zayton just like is checking out like the scar that is now underneath her neck, and just like seeing how it's doing, but mainly casual conversation as they're watching the fair slowly getting built up. And there's other people too. There's a centaur who you guys saw at the gallery, who did the Lumi traces, seems to be helping out here as well, and a few other different people. So, welcome to interact with who you want with, or if there's someone who you'd like to be here, let me know, and we can think about whether or not they would be here.
I feel like as they walk through the park, Akani spots, maybe they like pass by Pandy sitting with her friend, and Connie will just kind of stop as they walk by and just goes, "Hey, how you holding up?"
The conversation is just like seems to be like going casually, and looks up for a second, sees you, is like, "Oh, hi. I can talk now."
I can see that. You look good.
Uh,
Feel okay?
her smile falters when you say you look good, just because you can see the scar is not going away and is very noticeable, and she probably knows that. And there's like just like a small like downward crease for a second, but it picks back up right afterwards. And she's like, "Yeah, I'm feeling getting outside finally. They kept me under close watch for a while, but now I get to
Mhm.
see this." And she gestures to the slow pace of, or pretty fast pace actually, put togethers of the fair. It's getting ready.
Yeah, yeah, it's beautiful here. I wish I'd known about it sooner. Um, Listen, if you ever want to talk, I'm always at the Starlight Inn. So come holler for me if you need anything.
Okay. I mean, I love to talk, and I'm happy I can do it again. So yeah, I might pick you up on there. I hear they have really good food there, so I'd like to check that out.
Pretty good food, yeah. And I mean, hey, if you've got any stories to share, I'm always collecting. So
Okay. I'll do that sometime.
yeah, be safe. And then she's just gonna keep walking.
Ethel and Cinn, anything in particular from you guys?
I think I would just start looking around. I'm not gonna specifically seek anyone out to talk to them yet.
Mhm.
Although I also, as part of that, think that I will if somebody's struggling with carrying boxes or something, or actively moving stuff and needs an extra pair of hands, I will help with that. Mostly just because it's good cover for being poking around places that I'm not actually supposed to be poking around. But I'll help around a little bit.
Yep, that's 100% fair. Roll me an investigation check then. So you snoop.
Gotcha.
Cinn, how about you?
Sin is interested in figuring out who is in charge of sort of security at the event, such that when the crap potentially hits the fan, who is the head honcho that we will be reporting to and checking in on and leaping into action. Just because the people who are helping seem to be doing a great job, but not really in charge of safety.
Yeah, that's fair. That's something that you'll be able to figure out with asking around. It'll take like a couple people, but you can definitely hit up a couple people and what they basically it takes a couple people to realize. Yeah, they said there's security. I haven't really been paying. I haven't seen any. And like the second or third person you ask is like, oh, that thing's watching. I don't know who it belongs to. And you see a small metallic vulture that just seems to be like sitting on one of the tables and it like looking around, watching like left and right. Every once in a while, it flies up into the air, circles around, checks out things. And the person who tells you, which nameless NPC number 47, is like, yeah, it belongs to, and like points over to like a booth where there's some people talking. One of the people in there is head of security for this.
Thanks. And Sin will go over there to investigate.
Okay. What did you get on your roll, Ethel?
I got a dirty 20.
Solid. What are you trying to suss out exactly, if there's any particulars?
I'm trying to see. Um, because I'm assuming I've been to this festival before,
Probably a couple
but
times.
yeah, just probably just not here because normally they'd have it in the commons, right?
It really could be either location. It's definitely over. The reason why I pointedly say it's over here is because they definitely just don't want to hold it in the commons right now. But like it could have been in the commons before. Um, this garden is very close to the Ashen Industrial Agriculture Center. So
Mm-hmm.
like since they're hosting some stuff related to it, it seems purposefully placed closer to home
Okay,
base. But
gotcha. Alrighty. Yeah, I'm just gonna look around for. I want to see anything setup wise that looks out of place or weird for an event like this. And I also want to be keeping an eye out for um ways. How am I phrasing this? I just want to know where everything is essentially. Like I want to be pegging out okay, so first aid kits because those do exist. Medicine kits are in this corner, and this is where the mechanics tent is, and this is I just want to know what the map is essentially.
Okay.
and picking up on any suspicious details along the way.
Okay. With a 20, what I'll give you is you
Yeah,
100% know where everything is. We'll just 100% say you know the
cool.
layout. So that's
Gotcha.
good. It's not fully formed yet, but like you can tell where everything's probably going to go at this point.
Right.
Um, related to, I mean, the tent that you actually see Sin walking to is probably where a lot of like the main supplies are. This seems to be like headquarters, like HQ, where like all like that's where the planning and all like the big stuff is. So there's probably like, from what you can tell, there's probably like medicine kits and stuff sitting in there.
Okay.
Anything of importance related to there. As you look around, anything suspicious, nothing or just like out of place doesn't really pop up. It looks weird because it's in a different spot, but there are no weird items or anything put out. There's like the biggest thing is just like a lot of, and this isn't different. It just like it looks weird in this space. There's like a lot of pedestals, which like and like podiums. It's like a lot of locations for people to like be presenting, and it just like it feels weird. But like there's just like there's platform areas for people to like make their presentations. There's display cases for people to put presentations or put items that don't need full presenting or to put in there after presenting. Nothing seems dangerous or out of place from what you can tell.
Okay.
Seems business as usual as far as you can tell right now.
All right. Cool. 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 We did have a doll attack someone last time, so I'm still taking mental note. But
That's 100% fair. I would also be terrified of dolls if they randomly attacked me. I am terrified of dolls. Dolls are scary. But Sin, you are able to, yeah, you're able to easily walk up over to that room. The vulture, sorry, apparently I need to cough or something. The vulture actually swoops in a little bit before you, like a few seconds beforehand, and lands onto the back of one of the people there. And it's very weird the way the vulture lands. It opens up and it forms kind of like a mantle on the shoulders and a full like helm covering. Um, it's very weird to watch, especially from behind, where you just watch this creature almost like open up and then just like grasp onto like the back of the person and cover them. As it does that, the vulture head comes up top and just churns and looks towards you. um, and as you do that, you see the silver tiefling and a couple other people in there just having conversations about like layout stuff. And you watch Tungsten looks up and then looks over and then like points at you for the person with the helm. And without the vulture head moving, the head of the person just comes and meets the vulture head and looks towards you as the whole person turns towards you. It with the like darker metal, it just looks like it's like a full visored helm where you really can't see any details of the person. Um, roll me a history check.
Total of 5.
Looks cool, maybe scary, depending on your preference. But yeah, the weird mechanical creature is very new. Not something you've really seen before. Um, ooh, that is a thing. I'll get back to that afterwards. But yeah, the head turns towards you, and you hear the muffled voice of someone inside, just saying, "Can we help you?"
Uh, yeah, I'm actually here to help you. I'm Sin Alamoad. I'm with the Heavens Collective. Just wanted to provide additional security services. I assume that you've got things under wraps as far as the more mundane things are concerned, but with the Seven Graves killer running about, we decided to take an extra look at the operations. Not anything critical of the way you're running things. It looks well, but just providing extra assistance and extra hands as needed.
Uh, yeah. More hands the merrier. But yeah. Sure. Did you have questions? Is there any specifics that you want us to go over with you? We have the layout right here, and like you can see like there's like a map on the table for like a blueprint for how they're trying to set up all the stages and stuff. Um, yeah, I mean you're welcome to sit in with us if it's none of this is secret. It's the only secret is who wins.
Yeah, we want to keep that a secret until the very end. I respect that. Well, most of our concerns were the fact that we've had people witness, and I use that term loosely just because there wasn't much to witness there. So we were hoping that if you had access to any sort of seeing invisibility or detecting humanoids or detecting magic in general, that's sort of what we're looking at for being the culprits and the things where we're having gaps in our investigation.
Gotcha. Looks back towards Tungsten. Tungsten just kind of like shrugs his shoulders a bit. So, I don't have anything for specifically magic detection. See invisibility. I might have something for. Um, uh, you and the person in the helm says, with this device I can see some magic. If that's a specific thing we are looking for, is there a concern anywhere in particular that we can check out right now, or is this just during the fair itself we're worried?
We haven't been able to determine what the relative safety level, pre-event or during the event is. I think everyone should be safe and use the buddy system as much as they can nowadays. But don't really have any reason to suspect anything's going to happen before we get a whole bunch of people together, because then I think the odds are a lot higher that something is going to go a little wrong. So it's good to know that you've got eyes on those magical influences. We saw a few powerful spells being cast during the last murder, so we'll definitely appreciate that going forward. And we do have some of our investigators have the ability to see invisibility, so we're just trying to get a gauge of where this is the best place that we should station them, keep an eye on things, just to complement what you have in place.
Yes. The only thing that, again, when they're making the judgings for things, that's the one time that, and like points to the tent right next to it. It's like that's the tent that where the judges will be deliberating. That's the only one that, while they're deliberating, you're not allowed into. Anywhere else, you are welcome to be during the performance. Maybe not backstage all the way. I mean, if someone needs to be, that's fine. But we don't want to get any of the performers, jittery. But yeah, go where you need. If there's anything you need from us, and if the collective specifically suggests buddy system, we can try to see if we can get an announcement on the Oversky Orb.
We probably don't want to concern the people. The past few 10 days have been pretty uneventful, so no reason to send people into a panic. Just trying to be proactive with these types of investigations. Now, the judges you mentioned sort of go off on their own, and we absolutely want to respect their privacy for deliberation. But if we're talking about three old men in a room by themselves, that's a prime opportunity for someone who's up to no good. So if there's either a security guard there or just the assurance that we're dealing with some couple powerful forces who just happen to be judges who can take care of themselves, then we can rest easy and not worry about it.
Yes, I. So the judges are there's going to be three different representatives. One is going to be a city representative. Right now, the head prominence Azaran is currently being talked to, but if he's not open, we'll probably ask one of the other prominences to do it. Aster normally likes the attention, so that might be one of the people. We have a representative from Ashen Industrial. We're gonna have one of our higher up technicians who works on the food processing, who is just a big inventor of the area. Gonna have him probably join in, and I think we're still debating on who the third is going to be. We don't want to like have it one way or the other. Someone a little of both. We don't know yet for the third judge yet, which is stressful enough on its own. But I think it's better keeping it a little bit of a surprise because I don't want anyone paying off any of these judges beforehand.
Of course, of course. Well, that makes sense. We're gonna go regroup with the rest of the team. We do have days before we actually get together, so not too worried about it. Just keep us posted, and we'll do the same.
Sounds good. What was your name?
Sin Alamoad by Heaven's Collective
Uh, Nice
and
to meet
Jeweled Chalice.
you. All right.
I, I missed your name. You're in charge of security here.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. That was rude. My name's Clyde. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Clyde. I'll catch you around. I'll let you get back to it. Sorry to interrupt. Just want to make sure everyone's safe.
Yes. Have a good one. Turns back around and continues the conversation with the planning. Ethel, there's actually an additional thing you noticed, which I forgot and I didn't remember until this happened.
Mm-hmm.
A weird thing that is weird because you don't know what they are. There seems to be like not a crate, but like a visible version of a tensor's floating disk that has a bunch of small dark metal cubes that are like 6 inch by 6 inch on each side. There's a bunch of them, like a lot of them. You don't
Like,
know quite what they are.
so I'm sorry, they're tensors floating disks.
There's a tensor's floating disk holding up, like it's basically being used like a what do you hitch on the back of a trailer? Like it's using the carry cargo. It's like a cart, but like a magical cart that's just like floating around. And there's these 6 inch by 6 inch like they look like almost pure metallic cubes, but they have different like grooves on each of them, like the lines that are around them. Some of them are like a little wavy, other ones are straight, some are like etched marks. They're all, some of them are similar, but a lot of them are very different from.
Uh-huh. That's really weird. Um, I just want to check if I have a spell, and if I don't, I'm getting Connie.
Okay.
But since they're right in front of me, I'll do it first if I have the spell for it.
Pretty sure you have it detect magic but not identify is what we clarified last time, but I don't remember.
I have detect magic and identify.
Oh,
I think
okay.
I don't have comprehend languages.
Gotcha.
Um, yeah, I'm just gonna. Yeah, I'm gonna cast detect magic for sure. And oh, I don't have a message either. All right, I'm gonna cast detect magic first, and then I will run and get Connie. I should have had detect magic running the whole time, but that's beside the point. Um,
No, that's fair. The
that's my bad because I didn't say anything about it.
Yeah, yeah, you didn't say you did, so like that would have probably gotten you like a couple other things, but for the
Yeah.
most part, with this thing, the main thing that you notice magic from it is there's
Transmutation.
transmutation, magic on them. There's like a little hint of almost every other magic except necromancy on them as well, but like yeah, there seems to be like quite a few different things. Like there seems to be like abjuration magic for like durability to like keep them from breaking. There's
Mhm.
like there's some type of illusionary capabilities, but you're not sure what they are in the current state is. But yeah,
Huh. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna run and grab Connie and take her to see these cubes so she can see if
Yeah,
there's
I
any
feel like
value.
Connie. Yeah, I feel like Connie's like wandering around like nearby, and Ethel just like pokes her head out and just goes, Connie, and Connie just
Connie.
goes over.
We can also say Cinn rejoins you after talking in there. That way, knowledge is shared, or at least all of you guys have the same knowledge of whatever happens.
Yeah. She saw them split off, and she's like, I think I'll just wait here.
Yeah. So, yeah, you guys gather around the orbs. Not orbs. Cubes.
Cubes.
See these? Oops.
Get your
Very-
geometry straight,
Cubes.
sir.
Very different shape.
Cubes. The cubes. Yeah. What is the plan? What did you guys want to do?
I was bringing Connie because I just wanted to see if she could check if it was a language.
Oh yeah, I can do that. I mean, they're just a bunch of grooves, but yeah, I'll cast comprehend languages all fucking cubes.
Sure.
Like,
There's
We've
no
had-
language on them.
yeah, I thought so.
We've
doesn't
had
hurt.
languages show up on flowers. Like these are like weird grooves and squiggly
This
lines.
wouldn't
I'm
be
like,
the
well, it
first time
could be a
something weird happened.
code.
Yeah,
Nope, 100% doesn't hurt.
yeah, yeah, and then I'll just follow that up with identify because that takes a minute to cast.
Cool.
I have identified, but I don't have it prepared, so it's just ritual.
Yeah.
Well,
As you're doing that, as Connie's doing that, Cinn and Ethel, are you guys doing anything else? Or are you just waiting to see what Connie gets from this?
I'm waiting to
We're
see.
not too far.
What's up, Cinn?
Sorry, no, go ahead.
I was gonna say we're not too far away from the security tent, so I was gonna do like a quick message spell back to like Tungsten, I guess, just to be like, "Hey, we found some weird magic cubes. Do you know what these things are?"
Yes, those are some prizes and giveaway items called Fauna Forged Minis.
That
What?
works.
Also, thank you,
Okay.
Caducees, for redeeming hydrates. You've done at least 2. We appreciate it.
Yes, thank you for keeping us hydrated.
I can't see right now. Sorry.
Stay hydrated.
I'm
Hydrate.
trying.
Yeah, cool.
Hydrate or dehydrate, Mel.
Proud of you.
Or as
Yeah.
Echo likes to say, hydrate or die straight.
Another option. Yeah, so saying you get that quick message back, so you're able to share what these things are called.
I'm sorry, what were they called one more time?
Fauna Forged Minis.
Fauna Forged Minis.
What you get from it after casting a spell on them, jeez, Connie, is that these little constructs basically can be activated and kind of imprinted on, and what it does is give you a buddy, animal sidekick, basically. So you check one and you're like, this one is a squirrel, and then like you check one other one and you're like, oh, this could be like a dove or a bird or a sparrow, and like you check like a few of them and like the different line marks kind of show what they could be. So that's what you read is you check that out and you're like, oh, these can be like small beasts of some sort.
Fascinating. Hey, does Cinn tell us everything that just happened in the tents?
I would assume so.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
While you're taking your minute to cast the spell, and he's talking and learning about the Fauna Forge minis, he'll tell you about how he met Clyde, who's head of security and has got a good eye for the magic, and things seem to be pretty straightforward. But we can go to him if we have other questions or anything.
Have I heard that name before?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have. You have, but maybe not in canon. You've heard it from Ethel,
No,
actually.
you heard it in canon. There were stories.
Yeah.
You guys had brunch about this
We
thing.
we had brunch. We've had like long nights of wine over the fire over X's.
Oh.
So you've heard the name. So the question is it the same person?
There's no way.
Pretty sure I killed him.
Yeah, so Ethel,
Yeah, I thought.
Ethel and Connie, you guys share a look after Cinn shares
Yeah,
this
like
with you
Connie
guys.
just like, no, no, it's not.
It's got to be someone else. Clyde's a name
I
that
mean,
more
this
than
guy
one
had a
person in the entire
vulture.
world can have. Hey, what?
What did you say?
Yeah, he had this vulture familia that like sort of turned into a real cool looking helmet that like covered over his face. It was pretty cool.
I don't like that.
I
That's
actually
weird.
thought that's
That
Well,
might be a
Did I
thread to
miss
touch on
something?
later.
I will also
probably not
say they're like 50 feet away from you guys in a tent, so it's not like there's a huge distance.
Yeah.
it's fine. It's not the same person. It's fine.
I mean, we could always just show up in the tent, the two of us, and introduce ourselves and see how he reacts.
Connie.
Up to you.
If it
I'm
truly
not going to
is,
pressure you to do nothing.
if it truly is the man that I tried and I'm pretty sure did kill, do you think it would be a wise decision for me to show up and
Pretty sure.
introduce myself?
How sure are you, Ethel?
I chopped him up and buried him in the backyard.
Okay, that seems pretty sure. Okay. All right. Okay, so maybe it is a different one, or some twisted motherfucker. You know what? I don't want to finish that thought. Ooh, that gives me the heebie-jeebies. Okay, I don't like that. I don't like that. That's creepy.
Heebie-jeebies.
It's a real thing.
I don't know
That's
you
not
want
a
to
real thing. Heebie-jeebies are not a real thing.
Gives me the
They are.
creeps. Better. Right. Okay. Well, nothing else out of the ordinary. Just standard setup stuff. Then.
And he would have had to get a new trinket anyway to be back here. Because
Oh, did you take this?
yes, Walter has.
Oh. Ah.
It's how he got
Oh, that explains so much.
Are either of
Yeah.
you telling Cinn any of this, or is Cinn just hearing these half conversations this whole time?
Sin, I'm so sorry.
I just
You
have to.
no idea what's going on.
We've
I
just
mean,
been having
Ethel
a half
killed a man. I think that's cool.
Yeah, Ethel's kind of a badass. You know, don't let the apron fool you and the baked goods. Like she's done some shit. But we should get out of here.
Yes, I'll explain. Why don't you come over with pie? We'll explain at my house.
Ethel makes a killer pie, and I poor choice of words. What I mean to say is she's a great cook.
I've never done it with pie before, but would be. We're not going to get into that.
Ethel, don't you start today. You're gonna make me paranoid. Let's go. Your pie is my one sense of stability in my life right now. Okay, please don't do that.
I won't. I'm not about to become Sweetie Todd. It's fine.
Ooh.
It's not a thing that
See, you
just
would have been if you.
exists, but that's fine.
Yeah, no.
I'm
not about
That's just a story
whatever
that
this
exists.
universe's I'm not about to become whatever this universe's version of Sweeney Todd is. Is that better?
Yes.
Go pick up some Pirelli's Miracle Elixir while you're at it, you know?
I'm pretty sure I've said that before in Sprig mode, just reference to whatever this universe's version of this is.
That's alright. Alright, so are you guys leaving the Garden of Graces?
Yeah, I think so. Unless Sin has a look on his face.
Yeah.
He's got a look.
It's the uplighting, too, that's really
Yeah.
selling it.
Yeah.
Was just gonna let things go, but I'm thinking with the level 8 giving me detect thoughts to mysterious figure, I think it's a good time to not use the aggressive, hey, I'm spying on you, but just the casual surface thoughts version to see if there's any like, oh man, I'm sure glad I'm not dead anymore. Things like at the forefront of his mind.
Sure. It was just the wording. It was. Let me. I'm gonna double check the tech thoughts. I know the summary of it, but I want to just double check. Uh, I wish there was like more specific. Surface thoughts, one on its mind. What is most on its mind in the uh two big thoughts are popping up, or like two main thoughts. Big. Um, Currently, very focused on the planning. So like focusing on like making sure this works. Those things that Sin was it Sin just said. Make sure that this is safe. This and then the second like separate stray away is like, did I know him? Did I know him before? And then just goes back to thinking
Oh, I
specifically
don't
about the plan.
like that.
I
I
really
don't like that. I.
Yeah, so that's what you get, Sin.
And then while we're here, I'm gonna spend some psi points to assess foe. Not because I particularly imagine him having any like interesting immunity or resistances or vulnerabilities, but I feel like if someone's undead, there would trigger having different, immunities or vulnerabilities
Sure.
than a normal humanoid.
Tell
So I'm
me.
trying to do a vibe check
Sure.
just to confirm.
What would it tell you exactly?
I linked it in the Discord,
Okay.
but it learns the current hit points and all of its immunities, resistances, and vulnerabilities.
Um, Vulnerability doesn't exist. Um, Resistance to poison, necrotic, and psychic. Uh, Total health 108.
Excellent. And then I'll spend another 3 points of psionic energy to view his aura. So I'm going to learn if he's under the effect of any magical or psionic effects and basic emotional state.
Um, Emotional state's easy. It's pretty focused on like task at hand, but you feel like that questioning vibe pop up every so often, where it's just like, and then like the longer you sit and watch, like you watch like this person like look up at like Tungsten and a couple of the other people here, and like whenever like there's like an eye contact, there's like that questioning of like, do I know this person? And it's just a weird like afterthought that like then fades away. Um, the other one, so that was vibe, and what was the other one? Sorry, there's two parts for aura that you said, but I can't remember what the first part was.
Yep, if it's under the effect of any magical or psionic effect.
Oh, you get heavy magic vibes from him. I don't know how specific it gets, but yeah.
This is fine.
Yeah, that's cool. Would, as casually as one can, excuse himself from the security tent and head back to the group to relay via a message spell that, because I feel like message is a lot harder to intercept than just overhearing people conversing. So if someone had like a familiar that was, keeping an eye and ears on things, message would get around that. So we'll relay via message what he had picked up on in terms of this normal humanoid having necrotic and poison resistance, and maybe spending too much time trying to recall previous people. That may be someone with all of their faculties in place throughout their entire lifetime might not be doing. But maybe that's just reading too into it anyway, since relaying these things to Connie and Ethel.
Got it. And he had a helmet, so you didn't see his face.
I will say, eventually the vulture comes off and starts flying around. Like, it doesn't stay on the entire time. You just hit a moment where it was returning. But the longer you stay, the more likelihood that the vulture helmet comes off.
Yeah, I think Cinn would stay to see face, and then can minor illusion a picture of the face for Ethel.
Sure. We can say you do that. Because we haven't talked about it. Ethel.
Oh my fucking god.
Oh my gosh!
Vinny!
The death blow on Clyde was somewhere on his head. Where was it?
Oh gosh. It would have been...
Oh my fucking god.
We're gonna say, like, right in this area. It was an axe that she was using.
Of course.
It was the magic item that I started the campaign with.
If you'd like to describe what Clyde looks like, you can go ahead and do that now.
I will do that. I would just like to double check and make sure I don't have something pre-existing, so I'm going to open that file up right this second.
100% fair. I don't believe we did. I tried looking around for it and I couldn't find anything, but you give it a look-see. The few things I will say beforehand, the couple things you notice is that area that was pointed out, or that Corinne just explained. No hair is growing there. One thing that you notice in is that there is just this open area where there is a large scar wound on the head. There also seems to be some type of star metal or metallic thing embedded into that area, like he has like a plate in his head there now. In addition to that, you do see, like, when he is gesturing at things and stuff, you can see that there are scars along lots and lots of parts of the lips, along the fingers, along the arms.
Fuck this motherfucker up.
Very, 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 very scarred.
Someone straight up Frankenstein this motherfucker back together.
And a little sallow, not incredibly, but a little bit.
Oh my
Okay.
god.
Okay, you're right. I didn't have information, so I'm gonna go with instinct here.
Do it up.
I'm gonna say he is also, much like Ethel, he is a high elf. Everywhere that's growing hair is jet black. Oh boy. He has bright purple eyes, but like not purple in a weird way because this is D&D and everybody has purple eyes. Like, that's just a very common thing.
Yeah.
But he has bright purple eyes. He clearly holds himself. This is just like random information about him. He clearly holds himself with an air of like of confidence and regality to a certain extent.
Superiority?
I'm not going to say that word necessarily. I'll let Vinny decide that one. But confidence and regality. He... I don't know what he's looking like right now. But I will say that when Ethel was with him, he almost always had a little bit of a smirk on his face. like he knew something other people didn't know. Which, to be fair, Ethel feels that way a lot of the time too, so that makes a lot of sense that this is the person. His features are a little more angular, and we're gonna call it quits there. That's the description.
And that's good. Good basics. So yeah, that's basically what you see, Sin. Short of the gaping scar that is now like filled in with some star metal, like a star metal plate of some sort underneath the skin, and the intensive scars all over the body. A little sallow in the face, but has jet black hair, bright purple eyes, high elven features. Again, a little skinnier. In this moment, at least, you're not getting the confident air that is specifically described because it's like gesturing and pointing over a map. But but yeah, when Sin holds this up to you, it looks real familiar.
Okay.
Yeah, I can zoom in on the head for you if you want.
Ethel's just speechless for a second.
Connie is just like watching Ethel with bated breath because I don't think she's ever seen Clyde in like the time that she knew her.
Yeah, you wouldn't have.
She wouldn't have seen him, so she's just like waiting for like confirmation on if it's him or not.
Oh, for the love of Selune. All right.
Ethel,
It is. It's
Oh.
definitely. Oh, all right.
That's fucking spooky.
I'm going to message Walter.
Go
Give
ahead.
me a moment.
Take a
Walter's
moment.
ex-wife is coming through the window now. Everyone's exes are coming back.
Oh no, please. Oh god, this is the campaign of exes. The campaign of evil exes. We're in Scott Pilgrim versus the world.
Yeah.
The Radiant Babes versus all of their evil exes.
Is that a bad title?
All right,
to be honest?
Sin, you got it. Sin, you got any bad breakups we need to know about?
Yeah, Sin, you're watching again another like half conversation happening in front of you, and Ethel probably going pretty like white as this is going on.
Yeah, she's pretty.
Connie will just start like whisper filling him in.
So are we reporting this? Are we taking him out again? Are we following him and talking? What are we talking?
I'm thinking we sit back and observe for a little bit, see who's hanging around, and like find out who brought him back and why. I mean, he tried to kill. Like, to be fair, Ethel is like the sweetest woman I know, right? But he tried to kill her first, so it's he kind of had it coming.
Don't.
He had himself to blame.
I will server mute all of you.
I have made so many references to that.
I know, but we had a chance to just move past it.
Never.
But I saw Mel say he had it coming, and then I just saw Corinne's eyes go up.
And yeah, Connie will just kind of explain, like, I wasn't there, but it was messy, and it's really weird that he's bad. But we should figure out why before we, again, he's kind of dangerous. I mean, maybe he's not now. You said he seemed to question if he knew you before, right?
Yeah. I wouldn't know how to describe that exactly, but... He seemed to not really remember if he knew me or not. And typically, you make that
And
sort of decision whether you know someone or not pretty quickly. So if you're really dwelling on it, I don't
all
know.
right.
It just seemed weird.
Well, then I might buy us some time in case they happen to run into each other. Did you notice anybody else
Yeah,
interested
Ethel.
in the tent?
I mean, up until you guys mentioned that he might be a little weird because of the name, I hadn't thought too much about anyone else in the tent. They seem to be normal, helpful people in the
Um,
city.
that's fair. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I don't trust it. DM, was it definitely star metal in his scar from the minor illusion, based on what we could see from the minor illusion, or was it something else?
There's because you're in a city made of this stuff. I'm gonna say you can pretty tell by the way
Okay,
like its sheen that it definitely is star metal.
okay. Just checking.
Especially with Sin and Ethel like basically being here for a long time. Sin would definitely know, and then Ethel would be able to confirm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How much you want to bet that's his new trinket?
Ew.
Ethel, do you know what message you are sending to Walter?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
It says, I'm a few words short, but I think I'm gonna call it there. Dearest, are you okay? This is spoken urgently. It's just that when I read, I can't get quite the same tone. Where are you? I have disturbing news. Best shared in person whilst seated. Love you.
Maybe with a pie.
Where did we decide that he was working in the end?
He works at, I'm pretty sure, the graveyard.
Graveyard, right.
Because he does all his dance stuff for funsies.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Nice.
Yeah, you talk to him. Yeah, you send him a message. He's just like, oh, yeah, Moonlight. I'm just working. Everything's fine. Back hurts a bit. That was probably the dancing with Sin. That I can't let Sin take me out anymore. Like, and eventually gets cut off. Forgets that there was an important part of the conversation. No, he had a few more words. I'll have him say, "Okay, anywhere to meet?"
Where do we want to meet? I need to tell Walter. Now, I could meet him at his work. We could all come to my home. We could. Uh, Vinny, did I explicitly state that we had moved? That Walter and I had moved to a different apartment? I think I did.
I think you said you sold the other
When?
one and got the new one. I
Yeah.
don't remember, but I'm
Okay.
pretty sure that.
Oh, during like the month-long downtime?
No.
Like the whole thing, like before we
previously.
started.
That Ethel
Gotcha.
no longer lives in the same apartment she shared with Clyde.
I'm pretty
Oh,
sure.
gee, one would only hope.
I'm pretty sure, but if not, we can just say that you did because I don't mind that. I think that's
Cool.
a solid safety measure for a murderess.
Alright, okay, cool. To be fair, she didn't expect him to come back. But, you know. Okay, alright. My apartment is a viable option, his work is a viable option, somewhere in the Undercity is a viable option.
Not the Undercity.
Not the Undercity.
We could go to Starlight Inn. We can go to my room.
I'm perfectly fine with wherever we go, but we must.
I just wanted you to feel comfortable. This is kind of a lot to tell him.
Yeah. Drat. Let's do this Starlight. Because
Okay.
I'm pretty sure my house is safe, but
There was that one time that someone
Don't
was
know why
lurking
he's-
outside the door. So, just to be on the safe side.
we don't know why he's back. That's so concerning. Alright, okay.
Does anybody need a break? Anyone want to take 10 minutes? We have a break.
I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm okay either way. My water bottle is empty.
Okay. Well,
That's
I would
the only
like
thing.
you. I would like you hydrated. So we are going to take a quick,
Yeah, it's like,
probably just like a 5-minute. Nothing. We don't need anything too long, and we will be right back, guys. In just a few. Once I'm done setting this up. Okay. See you in a few minutes. That's amazing. Mask that you got, the pale visage. I did update that.
Cool.
So I'm gonna send you the updated version.
I'm sorry, say that one more time?
The mask called the Pale Visage that Lyra found so far back.
Great!
So
Just great.
all I had it marked down as, I don't think it had a name as far as I knew. I knew it was a white scaled mask that when I wore it allowed me
it's
to
a
do
dragon
full
scale
grip,
mask. Yep.
but it would allow, I could feel something looking through the mask with me, so I didn't use it that often.
That really sounds like Tiamat.
It really does
right
now.
There.
Yeah.
If you were
Fuck
the
Tiamat.
face, so Tiamat
Vinny?
could look through your eyes.
Yeah.
Vinny. Vinny, look at me. Look at me, Vinny. Go fuck yourself.
We haven't even started playing yet.
I'm having some emotions.
All the live long.
There.
Is the pale visage.
Shh, go read it.
Looked pretty wild. I liked it. I think there's a reason that he made it so we couldn't buy it even with our combined wealth.
Is it alright? Vinny?
Hmm?
Is it alright if I read it out loud, the description?
Oh yeah.
Okay. With a spiderweb crack on the center forehead gilded with star metal, this pure white mask is made of a singular white Vincent.
Vinny?
Vinny! A singular white dragon scale. Peering through the mask, you see the world in odd hues and shades. You gain +2 to your AC and intimidation skill when attuned.
Dude!
Didn't we? I just talked to you guys.
Yes, darling, catch up.
You get purple.
What?
What?
Don't worry about it. Shh.
5e monk class things just by typing in crazy gun monk in Google.
That sounds
surprising.
That sounds super correct. Yeah, Kensai
Yeah,
monks with guns are really.
Technically speaking, thanks to Tasha's, gun monk can officially be a thing.
It is. I made a bunch. It was great.
my God.
It was really fun.
I hate this.
Oh, they were great.
Next to Arc, Crazy Gun Monks. Party
Yes.
name.
Yeah, sure. I'll recommend that to the Dark Arc people. Do you guys want to go get tattoos?
Fuck this.
Yes, tattoos. And
I would
then
like
yes,
a tattoo, Papa.
Stab me, daddy.
You didn't like that, Connie? I mean, Mel.
I got worse. It got worse when
When Nova talked?
yes.
Yeah, I do that. I'm sorry.
No,
Funny.
you're good.
It's funny as shit.
It hurts now.
Yeah, full stress to full laughter does that.
I'm gonna mute now. I'll be right back.
You go do your thing.
Round. How we feeling, guys?
I am not feeling good.
Just fucking peachy.
Cool.
Did I take any damage from that real quick?
Oh, you took 14 damage. Thank you for reminding me.
So happy to help.
Never remind him.
Hey, did we have homework last night?
That was.
I'm not drowning.
That was,
I am sleeping so good.
That was kind of the energy that got tossed out. And hang out and have some family time crossover. Yeah, you're able to...
I mean, might as well teach them how to do it. I mean, it doesn't hurt to know how to make a healing potion.
Yep.
And remember, a family that heals together feels together.
Family that fights together might die together.
This is also potentially true.
Regardless, someone's gonna take a knee.
As you guys get to spend some time.
The party is lightly interrogated, sees Leon tied up and exhausted. He was in magic people cuffs, like with all the fingers. It was fun. We are accepted into the tribe, given jobs and a place to stay for the night, and instructed to report back in the morning for more stuff. Scaldy runs into her brother, shoots him in the foot.
A classic.
They do a little
classic
talking.
Scaldy.
Yeah.
That moment did become like a defining moment for Scaldy as a personality trait.
I do love I remember so clearly, it was like, you see your brother there, and then there's just this pause, and you had to be like, what do you do? And then the pause lingered, and then it was, shoot him in the foot. Just total throwaway.
I was thinking of which was the least damaging to shoot.
First of all, the Ivory Queen has some ways to get us out of the city. From here, that might be easier to get to than the greenhouse, especially considering how far the greenhouse is from us, and the fact that we neglected to remember that the city sells watermelon that lets you see through invisibility and disguise self. So...
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, there's magical fruit. It's kind of normal now, so I kind of forgot to think about it. But there's magic fruit that makes you do all wonder of things. It's really, really fun. But one of those is see basically into the ethereal plane.
I can't fucking wait to leave this place. What the fuck is this fucking hellscape?
But it's so
where you've got
interesting.
weird ass magic fruit.
Sid gets a sending message and just hears in their mind.
Oh fuck. Oh fuck. Oh fuck. Oh fuck.
Here's Mama, I haven't failed you yet. Much improved. Where the hell have you been? Miss you. Fuck 'em up.
I will say you don't get that message.
What?
What?
You're not playing that character right now. You don't know what's going on. Sid, you have a nice daydream about a message from Maybe.
Vinny. Ow.
Vincent, the fuck?
Put it back, put it back, put it back, put it back!
I put it back!
I mean, when you take it out because you are shrunk, you feel like whatever it was attached to on the inside it snaps away from. So like it's like pulling out a weed. So like you can put it back on top, but it's just gonna sit there. It's not gonna be in the ground again, so to speak.
We definitely just killed this guy. Like killed this guy. Oh fuck.
As halflings, we can run through large creatures. I'm going to run between its legs and try to get his attention over here and say, "Hey, you're gonna stop that now."
Its head does turn towards you, and the eyes light up again to blast, but as you come around and confront it in that way, there is a delay in the moment, and it gives Ave a moment to act before that fires off.
The crying.
Smoke inhalation.
Smoke inhalation. And she...
That's amazing.
My grandfather loves boxed wine, so maybe this is actually a good thing.
What's up, Asunar?
Something that is at least older than 15 years.
In a box?
In a box.
Do boxes live that long?
No, absolutely not.
I just enjoy
This
the phrase these
conversation.
boxes live that long.
This conversation.
Emphasis on live.
This is how I die, folks. Goodbye. I mean, there's people. But There's not like a
Look
lot
how-
of people, but people.
Oh, I didn't know. I assumed we were the only 4 in the shop, so that's my mistake.
Well, I mean, his shop is kind of like an outdoor stall. Like again, he's literally like that guy from the opening from Aladdin, where it's like it's
Mel, the face.
My
I want
mistake.
that. I want that face as our new group chat.
Please no. Please no.
It's happening.
Seriously, me. For fuck's
probably the least liked. Things that smelled awful, ratty mud off the street, and Onolove explained it as if you give even the worst thing a chance to be better, there's a good chance it might happen. I really want like pixie form of like Eldritch Blast.
That's not me though.
All right, Mickey Mouse. Because I'm not sure I understand.
Is she acting good because she thinks acting good is going to keep everybody together, or is she just acting good because she got it all out of her system the night before?
She got most of it out of her system, so she's mellowed out.
Okay, that's all I was
for
asking.
now.
Mellowette? Like just a little mellow? A small mellow?
She's mellowed.
You had to see that coming.
I'm hanging up now.
Hi, Mel.
Smartass.
That doesn't count
I know
as a
it, but,
solution
like,
of it.
Here, this is got multiple.
That doesn't.
This is such a problem tonight. Fuck. Anyway, the problem is it's because Ken keeps talking.
I guess I'll just shut the fuck up.
I guess I'll
Just do like your
fuck
bliss
up.
voice for Kid instead or something. Just use a different
No,
voice.
it's fine. It's fine.
Which bliss voice is the question?
Is one of them Southern?
No.
You get purple.
What?
What?
Don't worry about it. Shh.
I really want like pixie form of like Eldritch Blast.
That's not me though.
All right, Mickey Mouse.
The crying.
Smoke
And
inhalation.
she smoke inhalation, and she.
That's amazing.
5e monk class things just by typing in crazy gun monk in Google.
That sounds
surprising.
That sounds super correct. Yeah, Kensai
Yeah,
monks with
technically-
guns are really.
Tech-
And we're back. Da-da-da. Hello. We accomplished nothing during break. Hopefully, everyone got water at the very least. But otherwise, that's
That's untrue. We did accomplish lots of stuff.
otherwise
Yeah.
that people are agreeing to go to. Was it Starlight Inn? I forget what the end choice
Starlight
was.
Inn.
Okay.
Starlight.
Yeah. So you guys are heading towards the Starlight Inn. Did you message Walter again to tell him that?
Yes. Yes, I did.
I love the use of like a spell slot to say 2 words. Starlight Inn. Goodbye. Yeah. So you guys.
There may have been a little bit more like Starlight Inn, come as soon as possible.
Yeah. It's like actually important. Please use your paid time off.
Very important.
Thank you.
Yeah. Tell them I'm sick or something. I don't care.
And you get at the end like an oh shit, this is important. Shovel gets put down. Yeah, cool. You guys, honestly, I think Walter's closer. Walter probably gets there before you guys. You guys are on the opposite side of town of where the Starlight Inn is.
Yeah.
That's fine. Yeah.
So Walter's there. He's at a table, getting like it just has like a soup and some bread, and it's just sitting there. You guys see Celeste seems to be running the show, mainly solo, still at the moment. It's still fairly low key in here. Like again, like when you guys first came in here like 3 months ago, it's fairly hustle and bustle. This is very tame compared to related to the multitude of things that have happened in the last month. But yeah, you guys go in. You're able to see Walter is like mid bread slice. Has no idea what's going on.
Connie will just kind of smile at him and be like nod her head towards the stairs, like let's go upstairs. Come on.
Picks up the soup, carries it up, drinks it up the stairs, puts it down on a table. Thanks, Celeste. links arms with you real quick, Ethel, and just like looks at you to be like, "Are you okay?" Like as you're going like up the stairs to like get to the room before you guys even get there. He's just like trying to like read you with a look or like get a response back.
I'm pretty sure he can tell she's not okay.
Cool. He's just like,
Also, I leave a cup of gold on the table for Celeste. She needs the extra money right now.
Yeah. Cool. You guys are able to go up and get into Connie's room. What's Connie's room like? Do you and Asunar share a room, or do you guys have separate rooms?
I think we talked about this, and I genuinely don't remember.
That's fair.
I think we each have our own room.
Okay, I was gonna say, what does your side of the room or your individual room look like? Do you think?
Nothing overly fancy, like very simple. She pretty much leaves the room as it is, like doesn't like overly decorate it. Like her clothes are put away in the bureau or dresser or whatever it is. Like
You're one of those who
she's
actually
got
uses
an extra
dressers at hotels.
Oh, she's been staying there a long fucking time. Like, yeah, like if you're staying there for a weekend, no, they fucking like change clothes out of my pack. But you know, she's been staying there for like a month, so she started actually using like the furniture and shit. She's probably like moved things around a little bit so that she has like room to practice in private for like performances and shit, or just like practice a new song or whatever. Like she probably, if there's like a full length mirror, she probably moved it to one corner of the room and like rearranged the bed so it was in the opposite corner so she had more floor space. But other than that, there's nothing like super crazy about it. She just like rearranged it to suit her needs.
So there's a bed, there's like a regular sofa chair, not that points at anything in particular, but it's like set up towards like what would be like a warming area or a fireplace for when it's cold out, and then there's like 3 chairs over by a table. You 4 are able to gather together and like get the chairs together, circle up, and have a convo.
Yeah, she gives Walter the warming chair because it's probably the most comfy and he's gonna need it.
You do that, and he's like, "No, Ethel." He gives it to Ethel immediately because Ethel's distressed.
She's gonna.
Or you can share it. You can sit on his lap. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know your own relationship.
That is what I was gonna do though. Is that she's gonna like just roll her eyes and she's gonna push him into the chair and then sit on his lap.
You are sideways now, Mel. I don't know what you did.
Hi. You're also muted. I don't know if you're trying to talk to us or not.
I'm muted because my dog started barking. Please hold.
That's fair. Cool. Okay. So you sit Ethel down. He gives like a nod to Sin, be like, "Hey, dance buddy."
Hey, buddy.
Yeah, so I don't want to make a joke, but what's going on before I do make some really like uncouth joke? Is everyone alright?
Unfortunately, yes.
Even better.
You remember Clyde?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, he's back. He's here. He's alive.
Not dead.
Looks between you both to alive and not dead. Yes, those mean the same thing. What?
Sin, are you able to do that illusion thing again?
Yeah, so this is what he looks like now. As you can see, it looks like he's got some scarage around the head. I take it there was probably an attack there.
His eyes like dart to Ethel.
A little bit.
So yeah, he fell down some stairs.
Darling, it's okay.
It's
You can know.
What the? Okay. All right. Okay, he's alive and he's here.
At the gardens, helping with security, of all things. Security. Of the gardens.
So he's here. It takes like one more time for him to like fully register in his head. Okay. Huh. What are we doing about it? Like immediately just gets like right into. There's the side of the bill. We can take him to the last tail and just. There's.
That's an option. Certainly. I don't know what to do about it, because we're investigating a case, and I don't want to leave that alone, but I also don't trust it. Or him. Or any of it.
If he's connected somehow, we might want to just keep tabs on him and see if he brings us to any leads.
He tried to murder my fiance. I would just like him dead again.
Walter, I completely understand. But according to Cinn here, he didn't quite seem to remember people around him. Like, surface thoughts, correct me if I'm wrong, Cinn, he would question whether or not he knew that person before.
Cinn?
Yep. I mean, that was the vibe I was getting. It was the surface level of tech thought. So it seemed like he was sort of questioning his own memory a bit.
So would he remember us?
So yeah, we could absolutely knife him if he's a bad guy. But if memory and he's a different guy, then it's sort of rude to go stab him for stuff he's not, too familiar with, or is maybe controlled by.
Of all the people he's most likely to remember.
Go ahead, sorry.
Sorry. It's probably the people who actually killed him to his face.
I could certainly try to disguise himself as one of y'all and see how he responds. He doesn't put either of y'all in harm's way.
Why don't we just have... Cinn, you met him, right? He didn't recognize you? Okay.
Nah, I haven't seen him before.
Invite him to go dancing, and we'll have a good time at the dancing. Walter's a little tense right now. He's keeping a lot of it together, but he's like, yeah, no, let's just fucking murder this guy. Like, totally down to just kill him. Or not. Just raise his hands in like a faux surrender.
Look, we got to make the world a better place, and if we're taking out an undead creature, it's not going to weigh heavily on my conscience.
It's not going to bother me either. Who raised him and why? Who brought him back?
That's part of what I'm concerned about. When he tried to murder me, he was staging a coup against the church.
Okay. Do you know if he was working with anybody else? Or, do you remember who else he was working with?
I didn't really bother to find out.
That's fair.
Not that I didn't think it was important, just that I had other things to deal with. Him, namely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, priorities. I get that, for sure. Totally. 100%. I don't suppose... Walk me through this again. This, coup on the church. Anybody else that was present that you think might know who was involved?
Vinny.
Walter's looking around the room is like, sorry, are you and Asunar having a fight? Are we not telling Temerity and the rest and like Trine and any of them about this stuff? Or are we...
We will definitely fill them in. Temerity is unconscious. Safe.
Yeah, Temerity's had a little dizzy spell.
Oh, okay.
And Una had business.
Gotcha. Okay.
Business? I haven't seen Una all day. What do you mean business?
None of you know. No one
Uh,
knows.
Yeah, we don't know.
Asunar walked out and didn't say a word.
Okay.
She had something happen at the ballroom, and she left, and we're just gonna let her. Yeah,
I'll check in with her later.
for
Just
sure.
makes like mental note, like cast sending to Asunar if I don't see her in like the next 2 hours.
Absolutely.
That was just Walter being like, yeah, the last couple meetings had other people in this group, and now they're not here. So he...
Yeah.
No, they're
As
not
for
here. It's
Do you think the collective would have any record about that situation?
Maybe.
Try might be worth talking to.
She might.
Connie's just gonna sit up and cast sending you to try. Be like, hey, Trine, does the collective have record of a coup staged against the Church of Selune? Let me know. Thanks.
That's one of the weirdest requests I've gotten all day.
What?
And real specific. Okay. Yes, maybe. Where are you?
I don't think I have any spell slots left for another sending. Let's find.
Why not? What did you cast earlier today?
Oh no, I have one more. She'll just say, Jeweled Chalice, Ethel's past, come back to haunt her.
You have the Jeweled Chalice?
Literally. No, I'm sorry.
Starlight in.
My brain.
Just make a jerk, because that would be really fun too.
Oh,
is just
no,
trying just standing there with a bunch of like dossiers, just being like, I don't see anyone I know. Okay, goodbye.
Yeah, no, that'd be awkward. No, sorry. Starlight in, Ethel's past, coming back to haunt her. Literally.
Terrifying. I will see what I have. Otherwise, we may have to research here. I'll be over in an hour if I find anything. I'll roll for her, see if she finds anything. You guys doing anything over the next hour?
I think Ethel will recount the story, like, so that people have actual details.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
What are those details? Recount them.
Okay. Well, let me make sure I have my details correct. I've been rereading them, but I want to just like be clear.
Mm-hmm.
Clyde and I met through the church, and we were happily married for a while. But I'd been learning Gnomish to both for some of the things through Selene, and also because Clyde knew it, and so I was trying to surprise him. Because he had been fluent in it his whole life, he told me, since he was a child. And the note was, there was a note. It was in Gnomish. I didn't snoop as much back then. I was a little more prim and proper. But because I was learning, I wanted to try and see how much I understood. In short, there was an affair. There was, and I don't know with who, but there was an affair. There was a coup against the church, and then a week later, I had compiled some more evidence, and I went to ask him about it, but instead of asking him, I found poison in my cup, and I swapped mine with his, but he survived and left, and I followed, and met up with Connie and Walter and a bunch of other people, and eventually we tracked him down, and we murdered him. For lack of a better term. We used an axe, chopped him up into pieces, buried him in a backyard. Yes.
I'm not sure if they're asking about the murder or the Shar attempted coup. I don't know.
I think we were more so asking about the. Well, Sin kind of needs to know this a little bit better.
Sure.
Connie remembers a good amount of these
Okay.
details.
I wanted to clarify because we mentioned both things, and then I wanted to make sure that we were getting the correct details that were being looked for. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
To be fair, that's all of the details that I have written down. So that's all the details that I for sure know. But if you would like me to roll a history check to know other things, I can do that, or we can just call that good. Either way.
Roll me a history check. And actually, Sin, you roll me a history check too. You were up here during whatever the hell was happening.
Total 15.
Total 16.
Okay, you guys...
It's not a competition.
It's not. But it is dice, so.
Could be a competition. Make it a competition.
Could be.
See who wins. This is no. No.
This one's fun.
No. There is a Church of Shar up here. Easy enough. There were with a 15 and 16, which roughly equivalent. You remember that there were radicals who were the weirdest proclamations were coming out of them, saying specifically Shar was upset that Selune was replaced. And like it was balls to, like, hearing people shout that, being like just imagine someone being like Yahweh got replaced. Like, it was the weirdest thing for people to be shouting. And there were people who were just proclaiming that for a short while, and this was around when the whole attempted poisoning happened. But there were also with the coup, it wasn't so much you can't really coup another like church like when there's just like a line of different like religious sects. It was more like they tried to like dismantle the literal church. Like, you guys found like explosives and other things that were on like the inner pillars of the church and stuff, like and like before like the whole thing went off, they didn't go off in a tandem in a way that like actually destroyed the church, but a couple of the people who like were trying to destroy the church like misfired and just like exploded with a couple pillars, which like once some people just blew themselves up, the coup immediately died. But like the big proclamations and not everybody got kicked out of the city because of it, but like a lot of people, like, you know, you get shunned for a while in a floating city, you kind of run out of people to talk to. So like eventually some people moved to the underground, some people went planetside, and others are probably still in charge of the Church of Shar. But like the proclamations of Selune being replaced is probably was the most stark thing of 16 and 15. Yeah. You guys don't remember enough, but what you remember is them specifically saying that Selune got replaced. And Shar was pissed about it.
Which is just ridiculous, because they've had rivalry for so long, and you'd think that this wouldn't be the end of the world if Selune got replaced, and that Shar wouldn't be that upset by it, but I guess it... I mean, the scriptures say they were sisters or derivatives of each other. It's a little bit confusing, but one of those two things. So, like, I some sense understand, but it's... Ethel is still...
word vomiting.
She's a little frazzled. She's word vomiting.
But the Church of Shar still stands to this day?
Well, yes, they won't... I think the most radical of people I presume left, although that could be incorrect. I'm not quite sure what happened. The most radical got blown up by their own bombs.
Mm-hmm.
Unintentionally, but still.
But your husband at the time was involved, and possibly other members of the Church of Selune. So who's to say that all of them are actually gone?
I don't know. I left shortly after.
Right, I know. I'm just saying, I might have to pay a visit to the Church of Shar and see if I found anything.
Oh, be careful.
I will. Soon, I don't know what your capabilities are, if you have any disguise magic or anything like that, but I could always use backup.
Oh yeah, I got some tricks up my sleeve for remaining unnoticed, disguising myself.
Okay.
Do some snooping.
Well, then we can make this work. Do we want to go there first, or do we want to hit the underground?
Well, I wanted to
I wonder if we could
find
find more
Clyde
information.
Danson, set up a stake out at his place.
Oh. We might want to save that for another time. If we get too hot on this trail too fast, so that might throw up some alarms. But keep that. That's good. That's smart. But if we pay a visit to Thieves' Cantina, I wonder if we can dig up any extra dirt. Might have to do something stupid again, Ethel. Don't tell Una, okay?
Eventually,
I can also attempt to dig up dirt. You
Event-
don't have to do that again.
Might be worth it.
Let her. It's fun. It's great. Let it keep happening. Eventually, in your head, kind of you hear a message that's like, "I'm here. I don't.
Oh,
where are you guys?"
Is it
Trying.
ascending or is it
Message? But yes, you can respond.
Message can go through barriers. You just have to point in the general direction of where the person is.
She just points up the stairs at the rooms, like,
You don't have to.
Yeah.
You have to.
So she'll just respond back. Second door on the right.
And a moment later, knock at the door, opens it, sees everybody in a fairly doom and gloom state, and is like, what is with this inn? Okay, everyone is just okay. Shuts the door and
Close the door and grab a seat. And Connie will actually get up and let her sit down.
Is it a day or is it a night, Vinny?
Daytime.
I was about to say, it's daytime.
It's a Sunday.
It's a Sunday.
Cool.
Yeah. She brings out some folders of information. Looks like it was rushedly written down, copied down. I got what little I could about the whole Shar coup thing. The main things about it is there were some people say psychotic, literally, in here, like holds up paper, literally people writing psychotic. People raving that Shar and Selune were not sisters, they were lovers, and Selune got replaced, which angered Shar. And they were trying to get revenge against the church.
Have I heard the lover's angle before, Vinny?
Roll me a religion check.
Because I'm pretty sure I didn't read that in the document I read. And that might not be high enough.
May give Ethel Bardic inspiration.
Sure.
Okay.
What do I add?
Give me 1 second. I had to flip to my sheet. Bardic inspiration. 1d8.
Great. I love bards. That is a dirty 20 with that. Thank you.
Nice. Yeah, it's like a real rare thing. You definitely remember it from there. Like once Trine says it, you're like, oh, yeah, and then you sin to honestly like a little bit are like, oh yeah, that was weird. But like, you Ethel who focus more in on the religious aspects, um, remember it and I was like, oh yeah, that was the thing. But like, that's like a weird take, and it's a very peculiar take. It's derived from a very specific theory that doesn't exist for everybody, but that gods can be. Godship is a mantle, and people take those mantles. And that's not necessarily something that everyone prescribes to, but it's a theory. And that's where that derived from, where it was like, hey, these two lovers became gods of the moon. So they could just always be with each other and circle and dance through the night forever. But then, apparently, something happened with Selune, and that pissed off Shar.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
Interesting.
It does say that two of the religious leaders actually are not leaders. Two of the people related to this are still alive, and that they were sanctioned down to the underground.
Oh.
One of them was Perrin. I think we met her. She was in charge of the shop down there, where the animals were. You were staring at the kitten a little too long. It hurt you? Was it you or Asunar? It hurt one of you guys.
I think it was Una.
Yeah, I think that was that, and then I think it's someone else down there too. Vinny has to double check notes because there's a lot of character. Oh, never mind. They aren't both alive. The other one was Shiavan.
What? Oh.
All right. Okay.
Well, that's a whole new thing. What the fuck?
Does Sin know what
That's
happened?
the person that was killed by the 7 Graves murderer, right? Yeah.
Yeah, she was. Also,
She was the one who was murdered in the spa.
Yeah, in the spa.
Found in the spa. I don't think anyone actually saw it happen.
As you guys are talking this out, you see Trine's just writing a note. Update, not alive anymore.
Sonny just comments like, you really just don't stop, do you?
I mean, someone has to update this. What if someone checks it in like a year and a half? No one's gonna know.
No, you're right. You're right. Shit, what does this mean? Are you sure those are the only 2 people that were connected to all of that in some way, shape, or form? Are there any other people connected to any weird god shit that have died? I look crazy right now. Aliens. Aliens.
We're gonna screenshot that later, right?
Oh, please do.
But yeah, she's like, with what I could find, I mean, if we spent more time, this is what I grabbed, like, I was reading for like a half hour to try to see what I could find. If we had more time and we tried to sleuth and search for more, we could probably find more information, but this was just like quick, like, last notice updates that I had from that time.
Thank you.
Right.
Tried.
Yeah.
This sounds fucked up. Can we like hand wave and assume you guys tell her, or are you not telling her? Is
I feel like we give her like partial detail, like someone from Ethel's past is back from the dead. But maybe we don't say that Ethel killed her.
Yeah, maybe not tell her
Maybe
that
we
I.
leave the murder part out.
it's literally up to y'all, and you do have to. This, like, I mean, you gotta make a choice. Like, you gotta make a choice what you're gonna tell her.
I think we leave it at he was also part of this coup. He was from Church of Selune. He died. He's now back in town and back from the dead.
I guess how on the record is it that Ethel did actually murder her ex-husband? Because she wouldn't have been explicitly telling people that.
No, yeah, no one.
But,
Technically,
like,
no one
died
really
under
knows.
certain circumstances.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody's supposed to know. So I think that's the one bit we leave out is that he was in on it. He died, and now he's back from the dead.
Cool. Died under mysterious circumstances.
So you have a resurrected person coming after you?
Potentially.
That is what it seems like. Is
Okay, that's concerning.
Yeah.
we don't.
We're trying to figure out who resurrected him and why.
We don't actually know if he's coming after me or not.
Yeah.
But considering he did try to kill me already once, not interested in it again.
Again, I'm more than happy to disguise as you and see how he responds.
But wouldn't that just indicate that I'm here somewhere? Or that
maybe not. I mean, you met some people along the way, so it could be you. It could be anyone of your.
That's true.
Doesn't necessarily mean you're the one in the city.
I want to put that plan on reserve. Because it doesn't sound like a bad choice, but I'd rather do it when we have Una and Temerity as backup, or someone else, so that you're not just doing that and we're the only ones who can help.
No, that's fair.
Go south.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Is there anyone from your church who's been around long enough that might know more stuff?
I mean, Judy, viable option. There's some other ladies there. I don't know, Vinny, if the main priest has been there the whole time, or I mean, not main priest, but like whoever our head cleric of our sector is.
We've never made one.
We have not.
So
one exists because we referenced it.
Yeah. So there's probably one in charge and probably has been here for a while, assuming.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
So, I mean, he was in charge. He might know something.
We can talk to them. I mean, if we want to go to the underground, it sounded like there was an underground plan. Also, a go visit said person plan. And then looks at Walter, who has like murder in his eyes a little bit, and just push him off the ledge plan. So, seems to be a few plans.
Yeah. I think our best bet is to go to the underground first, see if we can dig up any extra dirt. You know, anything that might not be in the records of the collective. I almost said records of the realms.
They're definitely in the realms, but not the collective.
It was just very funny to watch you go the records of the collective.
I was like,
I mean, yeah, there's...
I'm happy to help out with any of these plans that you decide, but Ethel, this seems to be your jurisdiction and your side of things, so just let me know which one of these plans you want to act on. Happy to help.
I mean, Trine did say that she only got maybe a fraction of what could be found about that incident. Maybe there might be more. And, Sin and I can split off and check the underground.
Let's do that plan. But, Connie, don't put yourself in needless danger if you don't need to.
Don't do the stupid thing. Okay. That's fair. That was so useful last time. It got me so much info.
It absolutely did, and it was fantastic. Except for Clyde is already a problem.
That is
We
a
don't
problem.
we don't want
We don't need another
it
expert.
to become a problem.
I know.
You could also just go straight to the broker that's down there, right? We don't know if they deal with information or actual items or something else. And there's a bunch of stuff down there. We didn't even look at that much stuff while we were down. We should go back down again.
Yeah.
Trying sounds super like field trippy, but like, yeah, let's go down. Let's go like check things
Let's go on
out.
an adventure.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind researching with whoever wants to come help with that. Yeah, so what are your choices? Because we probably have enough time to do like quick like rolls and excursions to these two locations.
Yeah. Checking my inventory really quick. Let's see. Where in the world is my... Wait, is that right? Is that right? There's no way.
We go to the underground. We go to the collective. We should also stop by the church.
Yeah.
See what our records are. They're probably not different. But it is our...
Or maybe start the church instead of the collective.
I could get into the church. That's easy. That's the easy part. I run
That's
the
no
library.
problem for you.
Sin,
It's my job.
Sin, I saw like a finger raised. Did you have a thing to add? Okay. What are you looking at, Tommy? You're like, that's not right.
I was looking at how much gold I have, and this says that I have 1,587, and I was like, I remember spending a good chunk of change to get a gem of seeing, so this feels very...
You did get handed 250 gold just now, so I don't know if that...
Yeah, but even that, I was left with maybe 100 gold exchange for the gem of seeing, because it was like 1,200.
Well, you might have it written down somewhere else, so worry about that when you get your notebook.
I'll check
back.
again later.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, so we have at least three more options, but like the big ones are collective, church, and underground.
Mm-hmm.
What are we hitting? Is everyone going to all as a group? Or are you guys splitting up? What's going on?
I think we might be splitting up. I know they say don't split the party, but in terms of investigation...
We'll cover more ground if we split up. But do you still have sending?
Oh, fuck. Good question.
Split up between church and collective. Those are two very safe spots. If we can just do those two, and then afterwards, then we can all group together and go in the underground, where it might be a little dicier.
That's a good point.
Incredibly astute.
Hey, Sin. And then Connie's going to switch into Thieves' Can. She's just going to go snare or undertow.
Depends the context. I don't mix
Which do you
with those
prefer?
spices.
Do you like who do you keep? Whose company do you keep more, snare or undertow?
I mean, Kiku's on the undertow side of things, so and they tend to deal more with edibles, so I think that's a little bit more up my alley.
Okay. She just goes back to regular speak. Right. Okay. So then let's hit the collective and let's hit the church, and go from there. And we'll regroup and we'll head to the underground together. And then that way you can keep me in check, because it's going to be far too tempting to do the stupid thing again, because Lord knows I don't have the funds to pay for that shit. So
I might. I have less than I
Don't
did last
worry,
time.
I'll keep you safe.
I'm not worried about being
Sin
kept safe.
will.
I am. I appreciate it.
Sin will what?
Using the delusion psionic talent, let Connie know that he has a dimension door cloak. The name escapes me, but we get dimension door if we need to get out of trouble in a jiffy. So,
Cape of the Mont Blanc, I think.
thank you. Yes.
Okay.
And if we do
Fancy.
head under, we could also just talk to people down. We don't have to necessarily pay for stuff. We just.
If we went to the Thieves' Cantina, we could get a lot.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
A lot.
I was gonna try to get an excuse for more tats.
Try. Don't spend all your allowance on information for the Thieves' Cantina.
Oh, please.
You read it without even doing it. You read it without even doing anything. She's just like, oh, well, if I can just
watched
get
your
information there. I try to be in character when I can. Yeah, you say the Trine can just like buy information. She's like, oh, well, I mean,
It's expensive and dangerous.
Yeah.
It's not worth it.
It sounds like you have a
Depending
murder.
on who you are.
That part might be worth it. I'm just saying, don't spend your entire allowance. Don't spend your entire income, I should say, not allowance.
Don't go into debt with them, Trine.
It's really not. They're fine people for the bit. They do fine business, but they're not people you want to get into trouble with.
Oh no! Well, I mean, I can do this simple like purchase interaction. It sounds like whatever you guys did was less kosher, but you know.
It was reckless, to say the least. All right, who's going to the collective and who's going to the church?
I'll go to the church, obviously. I think.
Trine's probably better at the collective.
All right.
I'll go to the place that gave me 250 gold in a day and free booze.
All right, collective for you. I'll go with Ethel to the church then.
Okay. We'll just say Walter also goes with Ethel because Walter's probably not leaving Ethel today.
Walter's like, I'm not leaving your side for the rest of the day, possibly the rest of the week. Yeah. Never again.
Yeah. So cool. Let's start with the church. Let's see what happens at the church. I'm so curious.
Okay.
All right. Easy enough to get there. Are you guys looking to just go straight to the library, or are you looking to specifically talk with people? Or both?
Let's go to the library and talk to people after, possibly.
Well, what time of day are we at? Are we at a time where people are there socializing more? Because the smartest thing would be to talk to people when they're here, and then like use the time that there's people around to study.
Roll me a d20.
13.
13? It's fairly busy. But it's like I mean, it's not packed. There's not an actual service going on, but people are around talking, having like community chatter.
All right. Thoughts. I can talk to the priest first, or one of us can. Since he's the most likely to have information, maybe any of the society ladies who have been here long enough. And then to the library, so that we maximize the amount of time we have with people here to talk to them.
Okay.
So you're gonna go talk to the head cleric?
Yes. Right. I would like to start with him.
And is Kanitae coming with you, or doing something else while that's going on?
I think Anya's gonna let Ethel talk to him alone, and she's gonna go chat up like maybe some of the church ladies.
Easy enough to find some of them.
And before I go, I can totally point out. I don't know if Judy is the only one. I just mentioned her because I know she existed, but I can totally point out a couple of the people who would have been here when it was all happening.
Okay, yeah.
I'm assuming I have that information. I was a very active church member.
Yeah, we can find. I'm trying to just find the list of the different members once. I think 3 or 4 of them. The main one I remember is Cello was one of them, but I can't remember all of their names off the top of my head. But we can say you find Cello, who was kind of like the second in command of Judy's little group. But yeah, we'll start with Ethel. So Ethel, you go back. You find Humphrey, who is a little bit of a weird mix for a lad. He is part shifter, part furbolg, and what it ends up doing is giving him like really like super big droopy beagle ears. But like has like real like soft furry like lightly toned like greenish toned fur. Very like simple but like happy expression. A lot of the green is slowly has like that little bit of gray from just being here for a long time. But yeah, you're able to find him out back. Just seems to do some like regular cleaning and prepping for a normal day's work.
Okay. Humphrey, darling, if I could ask you a few questions.
Ethel, darling, yes. What can I do for you?
Sorry. I feel like not very many people give it back. This is very fun. Yes. Do you remember the complications we had with the Church of Shar a few years ago?
That was a while back, but yes, I do. What, It was a nasty time. What did you...
It was. So, as you know, I'm doing some side work for the collective. Typical gaining knowledge stuff. It's really fairly normal. But
things always sound normal when you say they're really fairly normal. It really just increases the normality.
Fairly normal business. It's fine, Vinny. It's okay if I sound a little awkward. I'm talking about a very traumatic life experience. And through some of my research, some old stuff came up about that. There's just not a lot of information that I found on our side of the story and how that went down from our perspective.
Mm-hmm.
I was just wondering if you had insights you could give me on what was going on and what the conflict was about, and if there's anything that would indicate those people might still be around and interested in causing harm.
I mean, that was years ago. I doubt we'd find anybody like that at this rate, but I remember the day where they tried to attack. We tried to get people out safely. Luckily, there weren't many people here. It was me, a few of the other workers, came in. We didn't know what was going on until it happened. Unfortunately, but also lucky for us, no one was hurt because they didn't know what they were doing. What specifics are you looking for? What is there like a motive that you think there'd still be some around? We've patched things up fairly well with most of the church.
I'm trying to think about what to ask. Well, there's just because of all the unsettling things that have been happening lately, there's been some indication that old people might come to deal with old wounds. And there's concerns that might include that debacle.
Oh, I mean, if people are going to be hurt, we should talk to, like, the prominences and see if we can get security or something to help protect Locke.
We don't know anything for certain yet. I don't want to freak anyone out, Humphrey. That's why I'm asking you for information.
Right. If any more specifics, I mean, I remember the event. I remember there were tensions beforehand. I remember there was crazy things being yelled, but I didn't. I tried not to pay attention to, what they said about Selune and her lover or any of that.
I don't want to tell him that Clyde is back.
It's fair.
But I don't know how to ask or continue giving information and asking questions that is going to help
That's
the situation.
100% fair. If you want to narrow it down to a check of some sort, like a persuasion or deception check, we can try to do that. But like anyone, like if you're asking questions about something like this, someone's gonna be like, "Well, why are you bringing up this tragedy?" Like,
which I totally understand. But there's not really a way to ask questions about the tragedy without asking questions about the tragedy.
exactly, which is why, like, yes.
If I could roll a persuasion, that would be fantastic.
Okay, we can have it be a persuasion check. Yeah. Just tell me what you're trying to figure out from him.
Could I make a suggestion?
Yes.
You're trying, there's some discrepancies in the collective's archives and you want to help correct them.
Oh, how do I work that into what I've already said? Totally cool with that. I just have to think about it for a second. Yeah. I'm just trying to figure out. Well, no, Mel is right. That's what we're trying to figure out. Is there discrepancies? I want to know what they are. But also, I'm trying to figure out if there's anything that happened in the past that could lead to a clue as to why Clyde is back, and if people are actually in danger from it again. That's like a lot of information.
Yeah. Okay. So this can be hard. What did you roll?
Let me just double check. I only rolled a 10, so I'm not expecting much.
Yeah. So we can say that there's a scare related to some necromantic acts or of some sort or something, and you're afraid of something happening from that method. And I was like, I mean, even the purest churches have some form of necromancy. That's why we have clerics. They raise the dead. Even revivify is necromantic power. Like, it's, we try not to judge depending on a school of magic. That's insane.
No, of course not.
I don't. Unless they had a devout servant that specifically was trying to do something for the cause, I don't see any reason that the church would, any church would try to bring them back. So, I mean, I know that some people were blown up, but I doubt they were that important if they didn't know how to work the bombs in the first place. I mean, it sounds like the people who were originally the biggest issues for it were already expunged to either the underground or planet side.
Alright. Okay. Thank you for your help. I'm very appreciated.
Of course. I'm sorry I couldn't be more, but please, if there's any trouble, let me know so I can warn the people of the church and we can try to get people as safe as we can.
I will let you know as soon as I have any wind of actual danger.
Okay. So that's what you get there. Connie, what are you doing in your little chatty chat?
I think she goes looking for like the church circle. Hang on, I must grab a Bubba. Come here, sir. He keeps scratching the door because his dad came home. So, oops. I think she goes looking for like the usual church circle that she's seen before, and tries to go find specifically the ones that Ethel has pointed out to her, and just see what they're like talking about first, if anything, if they're gossiping at all.
Sure. Yeah. Just like a rough listen. It sounds like they're
Yeah.
talking about upcoming events. Like, I mean, that's always going to be the thing you're going to get whenever you're listening to the church. It was like, do you remember what's happening this week? Like, it's very much going to be about like things that are on the way. So the group.
That is so very true.
Yes, I know. The group of people that you're going to be talking to, or that you can find, would be Tilda, the Water Genasi, Echello, the Centaur, Vora, the Asamar, Carmel, the Loxodon, and Lillian, the Fairy. Of those, the older of them is Vora. She just is an older figure in general, but like a lot of them have been around for a while, so they could all have a bit of knowledge.
Okay, let's start with Avora.
Okay. I mean, yeah, they're in a circle, like they're all chatting. So, are you trying to like purposely like get her away and talk to her by yourself, or are you just trying to add to the conversation and like lead it somewhere? Come back in a second.
Sorry,
No, you're fine.
I had to end a notification. Go on.
You're fine. Are you trying to like get Vora away from the others and have a conversation, or are you trying to add into the group convo and lead it to a specific spot, or something else?
I think she's trying to lead it into. Oh. Somebody's at my door. Please come back to me.
That's fine. All right, Cinn. You are heading over to the collective. Is there anything in particular that you would like to be researching?
He would presumably be going with Trine back. His interest is more, we've got this creature who came back from the dead and has some like the resistances, so he wants to look up undead and like resurrection magics, just because typically resurrection magics work pretty smoothly and are pretty straightforward, but this seems like a circumstance where someone was chopped up into tiny pieces and needed to be brought back with star metal in the head surgery, which seems to be a more severe version.
That's for sure. Yeah, we can definitely do that. So we can do either, if you want to make an Arcana roll with advantage with Trine helping you, which I prefer because I'd rather let you guys roll, or I can have Trine do it. It's up to you. Depends on what you're feeling comfy with.
I like Arcana, so
cool.
I could use some assistance because 11 is the first thing I rolled. So we're going to go with a total of 18 on the second roll.
Cool. She'll also give you guidance, so you can add a d4 to that.
I like d4s. I don't know what the fastest way to just add a D4 roll somewhere. I have guidance. I can. I will borrow dice parser. Total of 3 takes it to 21.
Pretty solid. With some digging and researching, yeah, like you straightforward, like again, necromancy is unfortunately like the straight path to it, like and like you first look up like the basics of like the normal spells like revivify, resurrection, you get the one where you like reroll your race, but there's that one as well that druids get reincarnation. Yeah, so there's a solid variety of them that like have the ability to bring you back, and then reincarnation is one of those ones that has you can come back with your mental faculties intact, but your physical ones are changed. So like that's the closest one, because that's like this is kind of like almost like a reverse of that, where like the physical body is somehow intact, but the mental faculties are not perfectly aligned again, from what little you guys are understanding. So it seems like potentially a corrupted version of that. The other thing that when you guys are reaching, you find lore, like like just regular readings about, I mean, Revivify exists. You're able to bring people back from the dead. There are people who, and even like constructs and creatures that can be brought back to life without things intact, called like, they are considered like reborn people. They aren't necessarily like a group or a designated group of any sort, and they're not a specific race. They're an individual who has died and then come back of their own volition, of the volition of like some higher power of some form. Not necessarily a god, but not necessarily like an individual person. Like this person probably wasn't brought back by a cleric or someone with like actual resurrection powers, but potentially a much stronger, higher power that either saw a second chance in this individual or wanted to manipulate this individual for a goal, is probably the ways that this would be used. Because the only reason to bring someone back is thinking they deserve a second chance or seeing an opportunity with that person. So you're not finding any exact clarity that like tells you like specifically about like whomst or why he's here, but you can narrow it down that it's related to the like reincarnation capabilities in some manner. Specifically being able to come back, and it seems to be like a class of humanoid that has this ability, or not ability, that was gifted the ability to have a second chance. That doesn't necessarily mean it's a good thing, but who knows?
Interesting. Thank you.
Let's see. Alright, so boom, boom.
Mel's back.
Mel.
Go back to Connie.
Yeah, I was like, I forgot what order.
Yeah.
Connie, what were we?
She was gonna like work her way into the conversation, and then just kind of like, if I could maybe make like a performance roll for it, just for the sake of time, because we are going a little bit over time. She would like to segue into like like interweave in like, oh, I hope that they're putting up extra protections given what's happened over the last couple of months. I've never seen anything like this before. Have you ever had such a tragic and awful incident happen before? Like, try to like get someone to talk about it.
Sure.
Kind of situation.
Yeah, performance. We'll go with performance
Okay.
with you trying to lead them into it.
Let's see. That's 5. That's a 23 total.
Cool. Ethel, what are you up to as you are like leaving the back room with Humphrey?
We didn't really discuss if she was going to come back and rejoin to discuss with the other people. I think she's done enough poking around that if she does more, it might be suspicious.
Mhm.
So she's going to kind of like behind the backs of the other people, give Connie a wave, and go to the library.
Gotcha. Connie, as you begin perusing through the conversations, your push does lead to the direction that you want, and there's like, it takes a bit for us to like, oh, this thing, but also don't forget the tragedy of Pandora having her head chopped off and like full display like a month or two ago, and then they start rehashing the older tales. What are you digging for exactly in these older tales? What are you trying to see?
I'm digging for the details of the event, like if, in case Ethel missed anything. I'm digging for extra names if anybody remembers anybody, like maybe they were friendly with some of the members of Church of Shaw, like just like maybe hindsight's 2020, like, oh yeah, their behavior was kind of odd, stuff like that. If any of them know of this like other interpretation as well, and maybe if they have opinions on said interpretation.
The
lover's interpretation,
Okay.
I mean, yeah.
I was like, interpretation. Okay. The mention of like that interpretation gets like those like over dramatic gasps of like, who would ever think that? That's such a weird thought. The almost immediate dismissal of that from a couple of them. Like in general, like Tilda, who's real new to it, like was like, oh, that's, and then like immediately like the older lady's like, that's no. So there's a little discrepancy there where it's like, oh, I mean, why not? Okay. Just like, okay, whatever. This doesn't seem to be a big impression on her. She doesn't seem to really carry the way, but she had an interest in like learning about it. The others, immediate dismissal almost. The names go. As you guys begin talking and going around, there is like a little bit of fun being poked at specifically Lillian, where they're like, well, remember Lillian used to be a cleric of Shar. She used to have a good times with that, and Lillian, who specifically is a dark fairy, shadow fairy, has like dark muted black wings and stuff. Like just gives like an eye roll, like yeah, I've heard it before. We've already had this discussion, and tries to wave it off. Lillian's like, I mean, but there's a lot of people got kicked planet side for that, which rude. But the couple people that I remember were, fuck, I forgot the names I said earlier already. Anyways, this is how you know our minds are mush.
You said Perrin and Shiavon earlier.
Yeah. Perrin we mentioned, and you watch. Roll me an insight check. Actually.
Insight is that's a dirty 20.
She seems to like try to play it off. She mentions both of the same names, Perrin and Shiavon, and like mentions parents easily, and then she like, it seems like she's trying to just like shove off the Shiavon thing, but like it seems like she seemed to know Shiavon like fairly well from like the read you get on her face, while the others are like mid laugh about the whole conversation, or like they have a side conversation for a moment. It seemed like she knew her and is taking the fairly recent death still a little roughly. So she just like, yeah, I mean, they were there. I mean, there's a lot of people there. I was a convert. It was a crazy day on both sides. I mean, we had our chief similar to not chief, our head similar to Humphrey over there. Just started exploding with shadow energy. I don't know if like Shar was possessing or something, but like there was like the reason the radicals got all crazy is because of he had like forms of himself made out of shadow come out and start like riling up the people. It was weird.
Does she give a name for the head cleric?
Yes. Give me a second. Sorry, I have so many names. Karst. Karst.
Oh my god, that's insane. What happened to him?
Oh, he died.
Oh. Okay. Seemed
Well,
I don't know. So many people ended up dead or planet side, it's hard to keep track.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, like, I mean, when someone has weird shadow energy coming off of you, and you're talking about uh sisters being not sisters, and you're talking about the destruction of a whole church, you kind of don't get to walk away from that situation.
Right. Well,
I think they burnt him up, sent him off the last tale, or maybe the mortician has the body still planted. It could be up in the cemetery, over in the cemetery. I don't know.
wow. Okay. Well, thank you for sharing. And um, this might seem a little bit strange, I guess, but I mean that's a lot to go through. So I'm sorry for your loss. I mean, you basically said sounds like you were uprooted from your community and people you were close with, and like, that's a lot to deal with. Really, she's trying to covertly say, "I'm sorry for your loss of Sheila."
Uh, roll me a persuasion and an insight check.
Ooh, okay. Okay, 14 plus persuasion. 21. And then insight check, you said?
Yep.
That's cocked. Oh, I rolled 13 again. Cool. That's 18 for insight.
We're at a good spot for this. This seems like a solid spot to run on. When you bug her a bit more, not bug her. When you try to like, what's the word? Empathize.
Show sympathy.
Yeah. Try to like equate emotion with her. There's a bit of a hardening in her face. She kind of like stonewalls your niceties. And there's a bit of an expression change of it's not a big deal. I gained a new community, and it's not like I lost anything I couldn't find again if I wanted to. Cinn, with your high check in the Arcana section as you guys were researching more names and information about the details of the coup of Shar, as we've been calling it, Revolt of Shar. There's a few different names that could fit pretty well for the situation. One of the instigators that you come across, one of the people who heavily believed in the lovers, not sisters, was Lillian, the Shadow Fairy. As that's going on, Ethel, you before you head out to the back of the library, you have to walk through the main area, and up front, similar to Christian churches, because that's what I have to draw off of, so that's what we're going to be using. There's areas where, similar to how Christian churches have votive candles that you can light up and kind of like say a prayer for somebody and like leave a coin or some money. Similarly, in the Church of Selune, they have an area where there is kind of like a ray of light that comes down, and you have the option to flip what is basically a miniature mirrors, and they have a bunch of them. They face down all the time until someone wants to like pay a coin, and then flip one upwards to kind of reflect the light back up, as part of, again, like an offering to someone who's like being sent out. You can see it's probably the only movement you've really seen beyond like the real neutral, like monotonous movement you've seen from Judy is you see her like mid get up. She drops a silver inside one of the things, and she flips one of the mirrors and just goes and sits back down. She's not taking part of the conversation. She's just in the forefront. Near this section where she just has been sitting, she just flips up one of the mirrors and stays seating. You see Connie taking care of business, having a good time with some convos. And Walter asks you, do you need me back in the library? I can try to help you back there if you want, or I can stay out here. The others?
Either. Like, she really thinks about it for a second, because she doesn't actually want him to leave her. But actually, Walter, would it be a truly terrible idea for me to go and try to actually talk to Judy and comfort her?
Right now?
Or at least sit with her in companions. Should I wait? Should I... We're working on investigating, but like...
I mean, that's up to you. I don't know if... I mean, I would say any time's normally a good time, but also right now? He says with like, really? We just figure out murderous ex-husband's back, and this is the time you want to go talk to your rival? This is the moment you're choosing?
I know why his response is that way, and she's like, yes, but it's been nagging me. Shoot.
I mean, if you want to do the research, I can try talking to her. I don't know if I'm good at talking. I can try talking to her. Or yeah, we can, if you want to. I don't think we should both be there. That's sending a weird message.
I agree. We should not. No.
So sorry for your loss as we're holding each other close. Yeah. No, yeah, if you want to go talk to her now, that's fine. I'll wait at the end, and like he's just like pointing to like a part of the pillars that's far enough away where he could like talk to like Tilda or somebody and be away from like your potential conversation.
She's just like, ugh, I just don't know if now is like the right time. Not that it's a wrong time to cover someone, just that like she's like, what do I even say? I'll be brief. And then she's gonna go to Judy.
Okay.
Stop.
The nice thing is we're going to pick up next time with that, so you'll have time to think about what you want to say.
Yeah.
So next time we'll be back. We'll probably open with whatever Asunar did during her little break from reality. We'll learn what happened with Temerity, and then we will pick back up opening with Ethel's thing and see how people's pieces start falling together. All right, guys. Thank you for coming.
I'm low key screaming. Bye.
This was a
Vinny.
We'll see y'all next time.
Medieval
New bombs are dropping.